All right, hello YouTube. Welcome to episode 58 of Geekery Abides. I am losing all sense of numbers anymore.
58, really? That many already?
Yeah, it's wild. Also on our calendar, for your sake, I flipped everything so you don't have to scroll down to get to the more recent stuff anymore.
Appreciate that.
But yeah, 24 the first, then 25 the second year, and then here we go into episode. Or wait. Is that 58? Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. It's because I got future episodes. I'm like, why is that showing? I'm not used to it. All right, yeah. No, this is episode 58. We're here for the Terminator 2 deep dive. We got a couple other, basically, like 3 big things to talk about, and that's all we're really doing. So let's go ahead and get on into it, hit the intro, and get started.
He who is ashamed of his geekery has forgotten the face of Stan Lee.
You the proud, the geeky.
This is the podcast, Geekery Abides.
Hello there, and welcome to episode 58. We are here to talk about a couple big topics, but the main one is Terminator 2. That is the main topic. We got a couple smaller, not main, but still big topics to talk through.
The popcorn topics, right?
I mean, kind of, but these ones are
a little bit juicier.
I feel like the 3 of these are, the main, outside, the 2 outside of the main topic, I feel like are ones that,
Pretty big deals.
Yeah, exactly. So let's go ahead and dive on into the emails first. If you want to email the show, you could do that by emailing either of us directly.
Who are you?
Oh, I guess I'm Tad.
And I'm Peter.
Yeah, and you're Peter.
Don't do it. Don't. Mother.
And this is Chimpy.
I hate
Oh,
you. I hate you.
Gotta love it, man. It's great stuff.
I hate it. I hate it
And
here.
you actually see it on the screen a little bit on this show.
Oh, that's so much worse because I'm going to have to be watching to make sure that he doesn't leave.
Oh, yeah, I'm Tad, that's Peter, and we are here for episode 58. Let's go ahead and jump on into emails. If you want to email the show, you can do that by emailing either of us directly. We do produce each episode every other, so I get the odds, Peter gets the evens. And so if you want to email Peter, you can do that, peter@geekeryabides.com or Tad, T-A-D-D, at geekeryabides.com, and that is the way to contact the show and have your voice heard. Let's go ahead and jump on over to, if I don't hit the wrong pedal, there we go. Watching, reading, playing. Pull my notes up here.
Yeah, I'll go first then since Tad's pulling his up. Watching Daredevil Born Again. Obviously, season finale happened in between since the last episode.
Right after. A couple days after.
Yeah, just a couple days after. And that was just the one episode for that one.
Yep.
2 episodes of Last of Us. My wife finished The Office, and now she's on to The Big Bang Theory, which is a fun every now and then show to watch. I also gave Andor a shot. I only got 1 episode in.
Same.
I have not gotten past that.
I haven't had time.
Yeah, same.
We'll get to it, but I've been busy.
Yes, exactly. And then I also rewatched The Batman again, because why not?
Because you want to see the Penguin.
He's not in it that much.
No, he's not, but...
Not that much,
but
really.
But he's pretty great.
Reading, I finished the Harry Potter series. I don't know if I said that on the last episode or if I was about to. I think I was about to, but I did finish it, and I started 11/22/63. Haven't read that for a while. I kind of read it by osmosis because my wife read it for the first time, so we talked about it.
Yeah.
And so I went into my Audible, and I just did a reverse order, like which ones have I listened to recently and everything. Yeah. And that was down there on the bottom with my history books, and I was like, that's not where that belongs. So
Yeah.
I'm listening to it again. And then I'm still playing Fallout 4 and Repo.
Okay. All right.
What about you?
So for me, let's see. I've got on watching Daredevil Born Again, still watching through Malcolm in the Middle, The Last of Us Season 2, as you said. And I've also been to an Andor Season 2, I guess. I do have that down here. I was trying to put it kind of in order, but I guess I could do that in order. But then I've seen a lot of movies since the last episode. I went and saw Sinners in theaters. That's the
Good
new
movie.
Ryan Coogler movie with Michael B. Jordan squared. That was a lot of fun. That was a really fun movie for sure. I really enjoyed that one a lot. I also went and saw The Amateur with Rami Malek, where he's like the CIA nerd.
Oh, The Amateur. Okay.
That's his wife gets killed and he wants to like whatever.
He's like a computer guy, but not
Yeah.
not like hands-on wet operations.
Yes, exactly. So went and saw that. That one was so-so. I think the biggest problem there is they showed most of the best shit in the trailer.
Oh, did they?
Like there was like a few big set pieces and you saw elements of them in the trailer, like the swimming pool. It's like there's like 3, maybe 4 of those in the entire movie, and I think 3 of them were pretty well shown in the trailer. So I was like, oh, this will be a better one to watch like years down the road when you hadn't seen the trailer necessarily. I also went and saw Drop, the new thriller. So I'm always intrigued by like, because there's a lot of movies, horror especially, but any movie where cell phones kind of screw up the plots. So you're seeing a lot of movies now that are like period pieces in the 90s, 70s, 80s, whatever. And so I'm always intrigued though with how are movies going to embrace new technology, and Drop is certainly one of those, because it's kind of like almost a twist on what was it, When a Stranger Calls. He checked on the children, vibe like that a little bit, but it's her getting airdrops with a bunch of like threatening memes and making her basically telling her she has to kill her date. So that's pretty cool. That was fun. I also, me and Hayden went and saw a test screening of a new movie. The new Darren Aronofsky movie called Caught Stealing comes out at the end of August. And this was like a full-on. So over the years, I've had a couple times where I've seen like a movie a week or so early. But like kind of like, I feel like with those, it's always like then outside there's like someone that's like probably with the like the like not press, but like the marketing. And they're like, oh, what did you think? And they'll like write shit down. And it's like, okay, this is just for like, like to put on like advertisements or whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah. It's
just like to get some like fluff to like whatever.
Yeah.
But this was different. This was like full on, like we did like a big like survey at the end. And I was like, man, like these are like the famous like test screenings that we always talk about on these shows and stuff, where it's like whatever. So I told Hayden, I'm like, there was an NDA, so I can't say a whole lot. I mean, I know just from Googling it though that like, before I even saw it, I Googled it. And, like Austin Butler's the lead, Zoe Kravitz is in it, Vincent D'Onofrio is in it, Liev Schreiber. So a lot of good actors. But I told Hayden I'm intrigued to go see it at the end of August and see how different or the same it is to what we saw.
Yeah.
Cause,
I guess we should both say that we saw episode 3 in theaters last night.
Yeah, it's on mine.
I forgot it on mine.
And then I went and saw Warfare, the new A24 war movie. That was pretty good. I enjoyed that one a lot. And then I already said Andor Season 2, and then T2, and then Revenge of the Sith last night in theaters. So I've been watching a lot, been to a lot of movies recently.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to catch up, get as many of the things off my list, because I always like project out what I want to do for the year. So it's easy to fall behind, and this year is pretty damn packed. So I'm like, I just don't have time to fall behind. So I've already dropped a couple that I really wanted to see that just. The problem is my home theater is a smaller theater. It's only 14 screens. So there's times that shit falls out of there a lot faster. I mean, not to mention that the theatrical windows now are tiny, but even more so when you're looking at a theater that's got 14 screens versus 30 screens.
Exactly.
So, there's already a couple I've missed, but yeah, that's why I went and saw like The Amateur, Drop, and Warfare. I think Warfare I literally got the last day before it wasn't in that theater anymore, because like the next day was Thursday, I think. So it's like that's when all your new movies come out. And, like in fact, the one we saw Revenge of the Sith in that theater was the exact theater I went in for Warfare.
Oh yeah.
Like I think I sat in the same seat too. So
there you go.
That's fun. And then that is it for their reading. I'm still reading Blood of the Prophets, slowly going through that. But I've been doing a lot of like podcasts and even some music and stuff, so I haven't been reading quite as fast as normal. So and then playing, I finally 100% completed Red Dead 2.
About time.
Took
Good job.
3+ years, I think. But yeah, 100%, 302 hours is what PlayStation told me. So
Yeah.
luckily, I had never played it on PlayStation. So it legitimately that's the hours it took me to do that. So that's wild. And then I've been kind of dabbling in different games, trying to find like what's really catching me. The only one that I played to any extent more than like 5 minutes is The Last of Us. So yeah, that's my playing.
Gotcha.
So let's go ahead and jump on over to the news, which I guess it's called news/popcorn topics. In this case, it's just the popcorn topics. So the first one is the Fantastic Four trailer. So
Yes.
that dropped on us pretty out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, there was like CinemaCon. No, there was 4/4. Everyone's like, oh, they'll drop the trailer on, you know, April 4th because whether you're American or European, 4/4. So it just seemed very logical. But they ended up just randomly. I was in the morning too, so I want to say it was probably Good Morning America. That's what Disney tends to do with their films is drop them on Good Morning America because that's on their network. So on ABC, which is owned by Disney. So yeah, overall vibes. What do you got? I got some notes on to go through, but just overall thoughts is my first question.
So, I mean, like, the only thing we're going to see is Galactus, right? Like, it doesn't seem like we're having any other big bads being shown at all. Silver Surfer and Galactus. That's the one thing I did notice, because I also we saw the Superman trailer last night with Star Wars.
Yeah.
There's a couple baddies in that shown. You see Lex, you see the pinkish eye thing in the sky, you see the fire-breathing thing.
The kaiju.
You also see, like, robots. Maybe that's a ally, maybe it's not, you know, that kind of
blue
thing.
ones,
the one that he's like holding, it's like in pieces.
Those are his friends.
Okay, so
you saw that in the Crypto's a bad boy.
Yes,
they're the ones that help him.
That's those ones. Okay,
yeah.
So he's fighting a guy in black in the baseball diamond stadium. So a bunch of things, right?
Yeah.
But Fantastic Four, nothing.
Yeah.
Silver Surfer and Galactus. That's all we see. So
Now,
it makes me kind of wonder, are we going to get that early villain? Are we going to get that early crisis that they're going to have to? Or are we literally just going to get the whole family shtick until Galactus shows up?
No, so I will say I don't have this necessarily full-on part of my notes, but I believe we're going to get something early. I believe it's maybe Mole Man might be there's an actor that's attached that people are assuming might be. But I do believe at the very beginning, here's my prediction from the trailer, them on the late night show. I think that's the very beginning. And then there's right toward the end when all the shit's going down, you see like an explosion on like that, like above ground line, like train line. It's even hard to tell that's what it is. It's literally during like the final bits of the trailer when like shit's all going wrong and you see a massive explosion. But if you go and watch that part of it, it's actually exploding kind of high up, and it's basically
it's on a building, right?
No,
right,
it's
like on the outside of a building.
It's the track. There's like an above ground track in this futuristic New York, not just subways. There's also
I got it. I got it pulled up here so I can see what you're talking about.
You also toward the tail end, you see a point when they're all running out of the actual studio that is that late night show, and they're like going whatever. My prediction is we're going to start with the late night show because that kind of gives you the ability to like catch the audience up of like, well, we all know their story, like whatever, and then like something's going to happen and they're going to have to go like stop that train, rescue whatever. Like, so I think that's going to, so I think we're going to get some minor villains just to kind of establish like,
right,
they're the heroes. They're the only heroes on this planet. At one point too, when they're talking to Silver Surfer, you see a big thing on the ground and it says like commemorating Fantastic Four's victory or something. So like I think there's going to be some other stuff, but it's not going to be.
It's just interesting they're not showing anything.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's my prediction on that part of it. I don't have that as part of my notes, but since you touched on that a bit, I think we'll get a little bit. It won't be nearly as much as Superman. Superman seems like it's doing some wild stuff. I've also seen some from some people that did test screenings where they're like the trailers are very deceptive and everything that everyone's been predicting has been wrong.
Yeah,
based on the trailers. So I'm like, wonder what that. Not for Superman, not for Fantastic Four.
Right.
So still, it makes me wonder like, are they throwing a lot at us to make us think that like it's one thing when in fact it's something completely different.
Yeah, so. and Marvel's famous for putting stuff in trailers and taking stuff out of trailers.
And James Gunn would have learned that.
And he absolutely would have.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm talking about Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying Superman's the one where they said some of this that had a test screening. They're like,
No, I
the
know.
trailers are deceiving you all, and everyone's predicting everything wrong. So I'm like, I'm watching you guys.
Yeah, but it goes the same for Fantastic Four because like we could be getting absolutely nothing. Everything we see could basically be the first 25 minutes.
Yeah.
It very well could be.
I have a feeling most of it is. Not everything.
They've been doing
but
that
most.
a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly. I want to say that's maybe something else the person said from the Superman one too, where they're like most of the stuff in the trailers in like the first 20 minutes of the movie. So, which again, not everything, but a lot of it.
A lot of it.
That's what you got to do, right?
80% of the trailer is in the first 25 minutes.
Yes,
You know?
that's a pretty good rule of thumb. So, so for me, overall vibes, I absolutely love it. I love that Sue feels like the emotional heart of the team. She was the big question for me because she's one that's easy to kind of lose and then see her fall to a lesser role.
Yeah.
Like it's never that way in the comics. She's always very important. But I feel
it
like
felt that way in the old
I
ones.
feel like lesser movies, she just kind of becomes almost like the arm candy, and it's just like she's the looks more so than actually being like a big part of the team.
Because you got Reed, who's the brains, who's trying to fix Grimm, and Johnny's just antagonizing Grimm, so you have that dynamic, and then Sue's just kind of there.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad that this trailer kind of really gave me a vibe that she's kind of going to be the emotional center of the entire team, right? Because which makes sense because Reed wouldn't be that. He's a fucking nerd. Like he doesn't have. I'm not gonna say he's not emotional, but it's like the one complaint people usually have about Reed. Not complaint, but like in the comics, is that Reed can really come off like an asshole at times, and it's like because he's
a scientist.
He's a scientist.
He's that scientist brain, that scientist way of speaking. It's like Sheldon in The Big Bang Theory, because I'm watching that with my wife, so that pops into my head. That cold, calculating scientist. I say what I see. Shit.
Yeah, and we'll get some hints of that. I have a note of that. We'll see that.
Yeah.
Also, the pregnancy is not being hidden.
Nope.
So that's great because
we suspected that after the teaser.
That first teaser. Even there was both of us where it was like, she's walking funny, and you're like, oh yeah, she's pregnant. They've photoshopped that out.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. So that
and obviously they didn't have any shots of that in this trailer.
Yeah.
Those shots where she was very obviously pregnant, but CG'd not.
Yeah. So that one is interesting too because that's what the reporter, and I've kind of wondered, is that whole reporter thing, could that be a setup for a trap? Like they're basically giving a reporter an insight onto them because they want Galactus or the Silver Surfer to see something, right? Like you bait the trap.
Oh, are they faking the baby?
No, not the baby,
okay.
but like the having the reporter in their house. Right, 7:00 every day or every Sunday night. We're here 7:00 on the dot for dinner. It's like, is that the bait?
How to get them? They're all in one spot.
Is that their bait on the hook? Where it's like, hey, at 7:00 you'll know exactly where we're at. We're on this exact fucking point in space.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It makes me wonder because it's like, when the kids are looking at the TV, the store's name is Kaplan, so that's fun. Billy Kaplan.
Okay.
I mean, it's a different universe, but like, you're not going to show me the name Kaplan and not make me Leo meme it a little bit there. So
okay.
Especially because we're so fresh off of Agatha and being introduced to Billy. So
I forgot his last name. Billy. Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, overly positive views of the team by everyone on the planet. It seems like. I think this is actually going to change radically during the course of the movie. These trailers are playing very, very positive, almost to the point of like nauseating.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, you never see this with superhero stuff. There's always a negative element. So it's like, you can't feed me that this is just this absolute fucking honky-dory. Everyone bends over backwards to thank these people.
Yeah.
And that's not the setup for like, when shit starts to go sideways, the whole fucking world turns on them. And it's like, you're not saving us. Or, when Galactus shows up, right? Like, I feel like that's going to be the thing where it's like this happy world that loves them, but it's going to turn on its head when something goes wrong, because it just feels like, my God, man, like, this is like, I feel like I need an insulin shot after watching some of these clips, because it's like,
they were so sweet.
Yeah, it's like, so I just have a suspicion that that's like again, we're seeing early in the movie, and I have a feeling that's going to turn. And I think there's some slight hints. Some of the are you going to save us? Like, that doesn't seem as like positive. Even there,
it's not. Are you going to save us? It's
are we safe?
Are we safe? And
yeah.
he goes, I don't know.
Yeah. Which I also love his performance there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like he just says it in a way like we've seen him in a lot of stuff, and I feel like his vocal, what he's doing with his voice, is different than anything we've ever seen with him before. So I do appreciate that a lot. Also, with the late night show, all four of them have different uniforms.
Yeah.
Originally, I thought Johnny and Ben had the same one, but when you look closely, Johnny's white goes all the way down almost to his wrists. Grimm's is a ways up on his arm.
And then Reed doesn't have any. He doesn't even have the white.
Reed's
on
is
the
purely
shoulders.
blue.
Yeah.
Hers is like Star Trek-y, where you got like white up on top almost. It feels like Star Trek to me. I do have a suspicion that Reed's is because they may have tried another uniform on him, and it looks shitty with the stretch.
Yeah.
So they went full blue because it just looks better. Probably, I'm just suspecting.
Yeah.
And then at that point, they're probably like, well, let's just give them all. And there might be a story reason for it. Like, maybe it like signifies what part of like the space mission they are or whatever. So, Johnny's eating Lucky Charms, but the back of the box shows you get a free Human Torch toy. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
Of course, he would eat a cereal that's hyping him up. That just screams
right.
Johnny. So
also, he's eating cereal when they're sitting down to spaghetti.
No, so there's some deception there too. I think that's my next. No, there's two different kitchen scenes being conflated as one in these trailers. The tasting the sauce with with
Grimm.
With Grimm. When you look there, Johnny's in his full blue uniform. Then it cuts, and then you see him picking up the cereal box. Now he's not wearing his uniform; he's wearing a T-shirt with like uniform pants.
You're right. Yeah.
Different scenes. I don't know what's going on there because they're really trying to make us think that that's the same thing. But I think you've got multiple weeks there.
I would just point out that there's a bowl of spaghetti in front of Johnny when he's wearing the T-shirt holding the Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, it's just
I'm just saying there's a bowl of spaghetti literally on the bowl. I'm looking at it right now. There's a freaking pot of spaghetti. Like it's the red pot. It might just be a continuity thing, but
yeah, I don't know. It's very very intriguing.
Maybe he takes the top of his uniform off because he grabs the cereal off the counter, but he was in the pantry the second before, and then when he walks over, there's the red pot that Grimm sticks his finger in.
Yeah.
Let me see if that pot's red. Yep, that pot's red. So he's having cereal when they're supposed to be having spaghetti.
Yeah, sounds about right. Johnny
for Johnny, yeah.
Johnny being Johnny towards Reed as well.
You're in way over your head.
Yeah, he starts to give him like a compliment, and it's funny because as I was like watching it the first time, I was just like cringing. So I'm like, no, Johnny wouldn't say that to Reed. Like he's kind of antagonistic towards him. Then he finally like stopped mid sentence and like, no, you're out of your depth. I'm like, brilliant. That's great. And Pedro plays it wonderfully as well.
Just like what?
Yeah, he's just like, what did I do? 1 second here. There we go. All right, let me go find my notes. I lost my spot. So Johnny being Johnny, and then the Silver Surfer. Holy shit, this is awesome. I didn't know necessarily that we would see this in the trailer.
Yeah.
Because like Galactus has already been hinted at. We all know that she's in this, but like to full on see her is pretty cool. I think that's kind of the big reveal of this trailer. Because again, we've already seen Galactus's the back of his head. We've already seen his shadow. So you can't. We're getting more revealed of him, but there's not he's already been seen to us to an extent. Silver Surfer not so. So it's really cool to see her. Love her voice, very like booming and stuff. Whatever. Also, when she asks if this is the Earth's protector or this planet's protectors, Reed is flummoxed here and is not answering, and then it is Sue who actually answers.
Yeah.
And if you actually watch closely, his look towards her is very shocked. I don't even think he expected, or maybe he didn't want to answer that question, and Sue just steps in and answers it. And you see Reed turn at her in a way where it's like, wait, what? Why did you just say that type thing? So that's kind of interesting. I love seeing the Silver Surfer phase through the helicopter. That's pretty cool. That's classic Silver Surfer stuff. Also, Johnny running out of oxygen by going into space, and
Gotta
then
be flame on.
Yeah, you can't flame without oxygen.
Fire
right?
needs oxygen.
So I love that. That's really cool. Yeah, it's great. And then in the trailer, I stretched the bounds of space, and they heard. I think this line is maybe the most important line in the entire trailer.
Yeah.
Just we'll get back to it. And also, it's funny because like if you go through and listen, there's like keywords. Fantastic is used. Him saying stretch. Like there's a couple of those like. When you watch it a couple times, you're like, oh, look, they're all saying like specific words. I think Grimm says thing at one point. So it's like, yeah, there's like, I'm trying to remember if there's something for Johnny, but they all say keywords where it's like, that's kind of funny.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
So I'll get back to my thoughts on this line specifically in a second. We are safe, and then, or are we safe? And then you get a shameful look with Johnny and Grimm, and then that's when you cut over to him, and he says, "I don't know." Like, so that's kind of interesting to see their reactions to that question.
Yeah.
Like, I think they know 100% they're not safe.
Yeah,
so,
they're in trouble.
Yeah, they're all in trouble, and they're lying. Yeah, and it also, I just, my note here, holy fuck, how scary is it when the smartest man in the multiverse says, "I don't know."
Yeah.
Like, that's I mean, of course we know, we're assuming it's probably a lie, but and then him saying there's not enough time, another little thing I wanted to drop in there, because I have a theory I'm going to have at the end, but I wanted to hit a couple things here. We also get a shot of the planet being destroyed. I don't know if it's our planet or their planet, I guess, with the Fantastic Four ship kind of hovering over the top. Looks like it's coming in, and the world's kind of whatever. I don't know if this is a vision. Would Marvel really go so far as to actually show the planet being fucking wiped out?
Is that how we end up with the Fantastic Four in our universe? Is that they get sent?
Yeah, I know. So I 100% believe that this is Infinity War. I think this movie is going to end very dark. I think this is an Empire Strikes Back movie. I think this is going to end very dark, very grim. So yes, to what you're saying there, I 100% believe that, and I'll get to a little bit more of my thoughts on that in just a second. First look at Reed stretching, because we have seen
first look at Sue as well using her powers.
No, she, in the first trailer you see her phasing in the spaceship. When I think that's a scene of her giving birth in the first teaser, and you see her kind of phase. So you've seen her a little bit, but Reed, we've been completely like, okay,
Yeah.
Are we not going to show us Reed? Like, because most of us are like, please let us see Reed, because every time they've done it so far, it's not looked great. So, and I'll say, I think this looks good. I don't know
It does.
About you, but I think it looks great. You can also see a Fantastic Four logo on the bottom of his shoe. I love that.
That's cool.
That feels like a Johnny decision for
Yeah.
branding, right? I don't think Reed cares about branding, but Johnny might. We will protect you. That's a interesting line, especially with the "I don't know" earlier. We have seen a shadow. We have seen the back of his head, and now we're seeing his feet. Sure seems like they're slowly revealing Galactus to us. Makes me
Yeah.
wonder if the final trailer we're going to get a face shot.
Oh, maybe.
I wonder, because at this point we've seen basically everything else, right? You get the scale when he's like shadowing over the whole fucking Manhattan Island. You got a smaller scale when he's looking at the Statue of Liberty, and then you see his feet walking. It's probably closer to the Statue of Liberty size when he's walking on the street. So it just makes me wonder if that's that last big fucking money shot for the final trailer, right?
Yeah.
Then going into my theory now. So I believe that with Reed's line stretched whatever and they heard, I have a feeling that he thinks that that's what caused Galactus and Silver Surfer to come. But here's my theory. I think Reed is going to spark an incursion with his meddling.
Okay.
Because we've seen him on the first teaser of the board. There's like some of the things we covered in the episode where we covered that one. There's like some legitimate like scientific things on the board that are about wormholes and multiverse travel and stuff. Black holes, white holes. There's a bunch of stuff on there that kind of gives us the hints that he's looking in for multiverse whatever. Now, I think we originally thought, what if you're looking for a multiverse because like, our planet or our universe, or our planet's going to be destroyed by Galactus. We need to find a way out. But what if he's just doing it kind of like Tony, just creating Ultron? He's just doing it because it's there to be done.
Okay.
But then, kind of like Doctor Strange, it sparks something that's going to cause an incursion. And we also have some hints and rumors that Galactus is going to be demanding Franklin, their baby. Because there was the whole like the official synopsis was, and then it gets more personal, and then we're like,
Yeah.
how does it get more personal than want to eat your planet? Well, what if you want your kid? So
Yeah.
In the comics, Franklin is an Omega level mutant and one of the most powerful beings. Period. He's insanely overpowered. In fact, he's often called beyond Omega level. So he's insanely powerful, and one of his powers is warping reality. So what my theory is, what if Reed is meddling with the multiverse stuff, he triggers an incursion and the destruction of this entire universe, and essentially what will become the destruction of this entire universe, and Galactus kind of has a sense, like he's not all knowing, but he can like feel things in the galaxy.
Yeah.
What if he senses that and now he's coming to Earth because like you guys are fucking gonna cause the end of the fucking universe. My self-preservation, I'm gonna fucking stop you. So I'm gonna kill you, destroy your planet, give me your kid because I know he's got the power that he can help me restore the universe and stop this from happening. And then kill the world so that this doesn't happen again because you're just proving that you're a menace. So I don't want to leave you around because if you destroy the universe, that destroys me type thing. But what if we do not figure that out until late in the film? What if at first it just seems like he's there to eat Earth and take Franklin, but in the final act we get a reveal that Reed has basically doomed the entire universe to a incursion. And he has just been trying, and Doom, of course, is trying to protect this universe, not necessarily because he's altruistic, but because selfish. Like, you can't kill my universe or it'll kill me type.
You mean
thing.
Galactus?
So, Galactus, yeah. What'd I say?
Doom.
Oh, Doom. I do also have some theories. I think Doom might be in it more than a cameo. I wonder if the whole third act, like Doom, comes from Latveria, connects with Reed of like, we need to save this whole thing, and then when they fail, that's the onus of Doom's like, I fucking hate you. You failed. My whole family, my country, our whole fucking universe died because you failed. And that'll be like the, Joker and Batman, Superman and Lex, and then there's Reed and Doom. Like, what could cause that more so than, hey, you let our entire universe die? So just some thoughts I had. There's just some stuff in here where I'm kind of wondering, like, and we've already been introduced to the idea of incursions, and I'm like, what if, it just seems like a cool thing. Imagine if you make like kind of like Doom, you end up finding out, or not Doom, Strange, you end up finding out is like this menace that like no matter what universe we found, Doctor Strange is one of the most dangerous people. What if we find out, well, there's no Doctor Strange in this universe, but what if Reed is meddling with things beyond what he should?
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's just some speculation, just from some things we've seen and just. I don't know, logic again, because like Franklin's powers.
So you don't think anyone from the current MCU is going to show up?
No. I think that maybe the post credit will be our people getting through either to another multiverse, 616 maybe, or they're end up in like some sort of void.
Who do you mean they?
Fantastic Four and
okay.
Doom.
So that my question. You don't think anyone from the current MCU is going to show up in the movie?
Not unless it's that. It depends on if they end up pulling through to the 616 or if they end up in some kind of void. If they end up in some kind of void and then Doom finds them, pulls them out, and puts them into Doom's battle world, then no, I don't think they'll see anyone. But there is also a chance they could just end up in 616. In that case, it'll be like the Beast in the Marvels where it's like, oh my God, there's blank, whoever it might be, right? So I would say a maybe for me on that. Also, this sets up Galactus for 616 because if he ends up destroying this planet even before the universe collapses, it sets him up as such a villain to where now if they ever want to use him in the 616, you've established him as like an ultimate fucking villain. Like, kind of like what they had to build Thanos up for how many, almost 10 years before we finally saw him. Well, you do it here all in one movie. But my biggest prediction, I think this is an Empire Strikes Back, Infinity War type movie. I think we walk out of this movie, everyone's expecting like, oh, it's the first movie, set the team up and like they get a victory. Like, and everyone's going to be like, what the fuck, when they get punched in the gut and like their whole universe is destroyed, or if not their world or their whole universe. Most people are probably assuming it's just going to be the world and Galactus will eat it, they'll fail, and that's it. But I'm wondering, what if it's an incursion and then the whole fucking universe gets destroyed? That'd be kind of interesting. So that's a lot of cool stuff in the trailer though, and I don't think they're spoiling anything either. I think they're doing a good job of being very selective, and I trust Feige at this point. I mean, some people might argue
Feige.
Some people might argue Red Hulk, but honestly, I just feel like after seeing that movie, I don't know what else you do for marketing. And then on top of it, like the toys and stuff, it was going to get leaked anyway. So it's like, I think there's some things you can hide, there's some things you can't, and a Red Hulk is just not something you could hide. So that's just one of those stupid Gandalf things, or your trailer ruins some stuff. But by and large, for any one of those, how many 5 or 6 other Marvel movies can we talk about that nothing was revealed in the trailer that was meaningful?
Yeah.
So I trust them. So.
Or they completely change it, like Infinity War. That one's the one that always sticks to my head. When they're charging through the jungle, and there's Hulk in the background. It's like, he's not in the movie like at all. Yeah, except for getting throat punched by Thanos.
Yeah. But then it was swapped out for the Hulk Buster, which is kind of cool. So, I'm into it though. I will say I told Hayden when we went and saw we went and saw something over here at this theater. I can't remember which one it was. One of the things I mentioned, though, Sinners. And we were talking about it, and I was telling him, and I surprised him a little bit by saying that Fantastic Four is probably one that, like, I'll end up liking more, but I think I'm more excited for Thunderbolts right now. And I think it's 100% more of a proximity thing.
I mean, Thunderbolts is in a few days.
Yeah, exactly. It's very close, and, like, I don't know, there's just something about it that seems like it's got a cool vibe. And I'm now, fast forward a month from now, it'll be a whole different conversation. I mean, of course, Thunderbolts will be in the rearview mirror, but it's a proximity thing, right? You're never as excited about something 6 months from now as you are for something that's...
I mean, are you as excited about Secret Wars as you are for, Doomsday as you are for Fantastic Four? Because that's in the future.
That one's different just because it's the Avengers, right? It's like when they said of Infinity War. It's like, okay, I don't care how many movies are in between right now. That's Infinity War. It's like, but that's the exception, right? It's kind of like if there's no
Spider-Man 4.
Yeah, like Spider-Man 4. Like, honestly, I might end up liking that more than Fantastic Four, but I'm more excited for Fantastic Four than Spider-Man 4
because it's closer.
Yeah, it's closer, and like it is the first family of Marvel too.
Yeah.
Plus,
and you're a huge fan of Fantastic Four.
Yeah, they're great. Besides Pedro adding to his what is
his
it?
Infinity Gauntlet.
Internet's daddy is the name they give to him. So
yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump on over to Daredevil Born Again, episode 9, which is called Speak of the Devil. Let's see here. Fixing my notes here. All right, so let's go ahead and dive on in. What do you got to start off here?
So we got the flashback, right, with Vanessa going to Poindexter.
Yeah.
I noticed in the background that someone's tossing up and down a baseball.
In the restaurant?
In the like the mental facility.
Okay. Yeah. When she's there, okay.
Yeah, that's the very first scene.
Yeah.
So she's talking to him, and then it's a shot of him, and in the background you see someone tossing a baseball up and down, or a ball. I guess I shouldn't assume that it's a baseball. You can't tell.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, that's a nod to Poindexter because the whole baseball thing and the whole love of ball.
His backstory.
His backstory. Yeah, thank you. So
yeah,
I did notice that.
That's a good call. It's a good call for sure. So let's see. Straight to Hell. Wait. I got two different things here.
I don't know. Speaking
of the Devil is what the internet told me, and I think I typed a note out saying Straight to Hell was the title of the episode on Disney Plus. So, I thought there was something off there. Now I don't know. Is the internet lying to me?
I'm looking.
You pulling up Disney Plus?
Straight to Hell is what's listed on Wikipedia.
All right, so Speak of the Devil is must have been a fake title that was leaked. So Straight to Hell. All right, that sounds better anyway. Speak of the Devil, like whatever. So picking back up right before the shot was taken at the end of last episode, that's kind of an interesting take.
Yeah.
In my mind. It was cool, though, because, we've already seen what happened, but then to flash back a couple seconds, because I feel like you flash back a couple seconds, and then from there you're going into Poindexter's head to see the flashbacks that led us there, right? Which is good, because I think we needed that, because we didn't ultimately know, like, how did he get out? And, like, obviously, like, we discovered that Vanessa was behind it with Matt last episode.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, but, like, there's more that needs to be filled in here, and that's what we're doing here is filling it out. So,
yeah.
Then flashback him getting let out to kill Foggy by Vanessa as well as the client, but nobody cares about the client, right?
Yeah, right.
That's all we care about is Foggy. I am starting to doubt that Foggy faked his death, too.
Yeah, I think he's dead. It seems like this would have been the episode to...
Yeah, to find out.
Yeah.
So that's, I think for me, that's what I wanted to believe more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And, there's precedent from the comics, too. So it's not like it's just them pulling a cheap-ass, like, fucking soap opera storyline. Like, no, it's something that's been done before. So, so sadly, now, doesn't mean we won't see Foggy again.
Nope,
There's
we could always have flashbacks.
Yeah, exactly. So, I will say this show has not used flashbacks nearly as much as the old show.
Yeah.
The old show is really heavy on it. In fact, in this, there's a quick...
the whole season 2 with him and Elektra.
But there's a quick shot of, in this episode, of him looking out at the city, and it's a new actor playing young Matt, because the one that played young Matt in the originals is probably 20 by now. But it struck me where I was like, oh shit, that's a different actor playing young Matt. I'm like, we always had the same actor. And of course I understood, like, yeah, he's gotten older. But then I realized, like, God, that kid playing young Matt, we got a lot of him in that original show, man. I would say you probably have 2 full episodes of him if you parsed out everything, all the, the
stuff with Stick,
5-minute
stuff with his dad.
Yeah, the 5-minute clips that they give you here and there. If you combined all those, you probably have 2 full episodes of just him. And that doesn't even count college Matt, which they just use Charlie Cox, which is fine. So, did the intro grow on you at all?
A little bit. It's fine. It's good.
I feel slightly responsible because I feel like I'm the one that put it in your head before the show started that what if they just used the original intro? So I feel like I feel like I incepted you a little bit.
You are a bastard. Let's be perfectly honest. Okay, the monkey's still there. We're good.
I love you thought of it because I thought the same thing as you were saying that. I was like, oh, monkey.
Yeah, monkey. I will say that the shot of Fisk covered in Matt's blood, like his suit coat draped over the couch, and then you just see him just covered in blood.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty jarring for me. I don't know why. That one really caught me kind of off guard. Just like, oh, fuck, that's Matt's blood.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, indeed. My next note, Matt calling Heather Karen. Ouch. That's a rough one.
Do you think she knows about Karen being an ex?
She's mentioned Karen.
So she does.
There was the point when she's like, "Oh yeah, you're so fixed." Or she calls him out on something about his past life and mentions Foggy and Karen by name. So yeah, she knows.
Ooh.
She knows who that is. So,
that's an ouch.
I mean, she deserves it at this point. I'm kind of not liking Heather. Just some of her attitude. I saved me, which I'm like, I get it. You're the one that took the shot, but you're not able to take that shot.
You're not in any way able to pull a trigger if it's not for Daredevil. That shit. Okay. I've been thinking about that more and more. That line, I saved me. The more and more I think about that, the more and more that pisses me off because there's a lot of shit like that in Batman.
Yeah.
Where Batman saves someone and they're like, well, you don't do anything for us. And it's like, motherfucker, he saved. Shut the fuck up. Oh, God, it pisses. And then for her to lump all vigilantes in with Muse.
What does she oh yeah, she puts Muse and Daredevil in the same category.
Well, she says all vigilantes, Daredevil and Muse. He's like, you can't put those two in the same category. And she's like, why not? And I'm like, I'm really not liking her.
Looks like I forgot to change the slide. Thank you, Lydia. Oh, that's the wrong button. There we go. My pedals slid over a little bit. There we go. All right. Yeah. Sorry about that. Slide was incorrect there for a second.
Oh, we're good.
So yeah, Fisk and Vanessa scene. You mentioned the coat. Also, Fisk saying "I know."
Yeah.
So that's kind of. I feel like they're completely in a different spot in their relationship now. I think now.
Well, after everything with the artist, what was the name? Alex.
Whatever his name was.
The artist.
Yeah. So yeah, with that, but then on top of that, because it's like she's been hiding stuff from him as well, like including the Foggy thing. So for him to have found out and there's like no ill will or whatever, because we early on in the season we were like, is this gonna be like an issue?
Yeah, like are they gonna go after? And then there was was it last episode where it's like, oh shit, she's sending him to go kill Fisk, and then it's like, oh nope, she set him up, kind of thing.
Yeah, indeed. So Matt driving at what Foggy knew, and Heather of course is being Heather, because and I think that the partner's in the room too, and I feel like both of them are just kind of like
Christy, is that her name?
I think
the partner.
Yeah, I keep forgetting her
name. Christy, something like that.
Yeah. I should know her last name because I remember when they were in the firm a few times.
Murdoch and Matthews,
something. And I can't remember.
It's Eminem, isn't it?
I don't know. If it's Stan Lee, like it would be, yeah. Because Stan Lee was famous for that. So yeah, I love that, but it is frustrating when both ladies in the room with them there are trying to not gaslight, but they're trying to just oh yeah, sure, Matt, whatever, whatever you think, you should just sit here and heal though. You can chime in with notes too. I've got
McDuffie.
That's her name.
I was looking it up.
That's right, because I remember thinking Irish name, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it works for Matt, right?
Murdoch McDuffie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew it was Eminem.
At least it's not O'Driscoll.
O'Driscoll. Damn O'Driscolls. I actually only have one note here, and then I jump forward a bit before my next one. Is that interesting that Fisk sends a hit on Matt.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting choice. I have that down.
Because I was wondering, like, is this going to change Fisk's, like...
Yeah.
But then again, honestly, like, I was a fool to think that, though. Because, like, think of his rage about Daredevil a few episodes ago.
Yeah,
when
he finds out that he's back. Yeah.
Yeah, like...
I'm not saying it's wrong that he's sending it. I think it's the wrong time to send it. Like, this man just saved your life. So if you have him assassinated, and I know that
it was
his
gonna be
guy was going to make it look like
medical,
it was
just succumb.
He succumbed to his injuries and everything like that. There's going to be that conspiracy element that's going to be like, because Charlie, obviously Matt Murdock's identity would be revealed. Oh fuck, he was Daredevil.
You think it'd be revealed?
It has to be, because someone has to go through his stuff, right?
Unless Fisk people just clean it up.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
He's the mayor. So
at this point, should we doubt him on anything?
That's fair. That's where my one thing was like, you kill him, his secret comes out.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's going to happen.
No, he'd have Buck go in there and clean that shit out.
But there is other people who know that he's Daredevil. You think Cherry and Karen and everyone are going to keep quiet if he offs Daredevil?
No.
And that's where I think that he's just being a little foolish. I think he's just taking a shot at the one person he can get his hands on.
Yeah.
Because he can't get his hands on Poindexter.
Yeah.
And I think that's who he really wants to get his hands on, and he can't.
Yeah. I had a note, similar time period there. Mayor Kingpin, full on, right?
Oh, yeah.
And my other part of my note, at this point, anyone who doubted we'd end up here has not watched a second of the old show.
Yeah.
Like, it's just... I think both of us early in the show, too, were like...
Is he going to be Kingpin, or is it going to be Vanessa? Because that was the thing that I thought that Marvel might turn on its head.
Yeah.
Because they do things like that. And I have a note about that here with one.
But I think both of us kind of resolved to the fact
I kind of accepted it after a couple episodes where I'm like, no, he's going to be Kingpin.
It's just, I think we both had the question, but then we both immediately answer where it's like, no, he's still going to be Kingpin.
He's still going to be Kingpin.
Like everything we've seen in season 1 and season 3, because he wasn't in season 2 pretty much for the most part.
Just that one scene with Frank, right?
Yeah, so he's so good at spinning the web and just connecting every dot. And
you can't say web. There's no Spider-Man.
You think you're breaking out of like the box he's put you in. He's got 10 more. Like that's what he does. So it's like for anyone to think that like he had turned over a new leaf or whatever.
No.
Like no, dude. That's
Matt's whole point, right?
Exactly.
Like you're supposed to side with the hero, right?
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
You're supposed to agree with the hero, and that's the hero stance that he's taken this whole season. Is that he says it to Heather, like, you don't know him like I do.
Yeah.
He is obviously evil.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but then again, I do see it from her perspective. Because also we don't know, did it ever get revealed to us if she's like a lifelong New Yorker or not? Because
I don't think it's ever been
if
talked
she's
about.
a transplant and she doesn't know anything about the shit that happened previously with him.
But Matt told her about his past with Fisk. So that's the part I have a problem with.
I don't think he spelled everything out, though, because he ultimately hasn't said who he's Daredevil.
Daredevil, right.
So, like,
no, but Fisk has come after him as a lawyer, though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So you can't just be like, oh, well, the Daredevil stuff, she doesn't know about that. It's like, yeah, you remember the times that Fisk tried to have Matt Murdock killed, right? And Karen Page and Foggy Nelson and other people.
I just wonder if he spelled that out, or if he just sounds kind of crazy. Because, like, ultimately...
Oh, the mayor's after me.
Yeah, like, it's just... legit, she's someone that deals with, delusional, people anyway.
Also,
so it's like, does that not... Like, the mayor, and he's got all this whole web of network of people, and they're all coming after me. Like,
also, let's be perfectly honest. It's kind of... I'm going to play devil's advocate for Heather for a second.
Which makes me feel dirty even saying that because I just did the same thing a little bit.
She knows him. She knows Fisk. On an intimate level, like a patient and therapist level.
I think that's
a
key.
Relationship that we can't take lightly.
Yeah.
That Fisk getting into that early
Yeah.
Whether it was intentional or not, which I'm starting to believe Matt that it was
That
intentional.
he knew. Yeah.
He knew that Matt was dating her. Dude, that's why I don't trust the partner. You opened my eyes on that.
Yeah.
I don't trust that fucking partner
There's
for a
not
second.
a ton in this episode. There's a couple points. I don't remember if I took them down or not, but I still don't trust her.
Dude, the stuff you pointed out last episode with her getting the call about Poindexter and stuff like that, I'm like, why the fuck would they call her?
Yeah.
Why would she tell him?
Yeah.
You know, and all that. I don't trust her.
I'm watching her.
I don't trust her at all.
I'm watching her because Matt can't.
That's a blind joke. I did not see that coming.
Oh, man.
Ah.
So, and Fisk raving about all vigilantes and wanting the city closed off, and then tells Buck to kill Matt.
Yeah.
Well, so much for any goodwill for Matt's sacrificing.
No, that's
You've already alluded to it. But
That's
it's
what
like,
I was saying. It's like, fuck. God.
Yeah.
The guy took a bullet for you, and you're just going to send someone to kill him?
I thought it would at least move him to a level of indifference where it's like, okay, for now, I'm going to live and let live. Like,
I'm going to take care of my city right now.
yeah, like I'm not going to worry about him for now. Doesn't mean I'm not going to come back on him at some point, but you kind of bought yourself some goodwill for a minute. Like, nope.
Yeah, and then for him to orchestrate this blackout, too, was just
Insane.
like instantly.
Which we
like,
just saw in the Fantastic Four trailer, a massive
blackout, the whole
that
like,
was
the
like
whole
coastal.
like East Coast.
Yeah, that was coastal. This still though, Manhattan Island going to a full blackout, the entire island, like that's happened a couple times, and it's usually like riot level. Like
Yeah,
it's
like this shit.
dude, it is. It's like
Where do you think they got the footage from? No, just kidding. You know. My next note's not until the cops show up to Matt's apartment. So go ahead.
Okay, still not sure about the partner. There's one of my notes.
Yep.
Again, just some stuff with her where I'm like, again, I'm watching you. There's
Yep.
no, not a lot of new evidence, but like,
I don't trust her for a fucking second.
no. And again, I think we're just Fisk burnt. We've been burned by Fisk enough now to where it's just like,
We get another example of it when fucking Sheila turns this episode.
yeah,
The one who's against him the entire season.
yeah.
I have a note about that, but I'm going to say
Yeah.
it now. Yes, I've been Fisk burned.
Yeah, it's again, if you're
Trust no one.
yeah, and then that's my next note. Fisk asking for Sheila to rat on anyone who isn't fully loyal. Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh
And
man,
then she has that conversation with Gallo. Oh.
with the commissioner. Yeah, I knew this wouldn't end well. I remember watching it the first time and thinking like, there's a fucking recording device. Or fucking Tony Soprano's kid is in the distance.
Is in the around the corner.
Yeah, there was just something where I'm like, this isn't gonna fucking end well. I just
I thought it was going to be the ray of sunshine. Like, okay, he's going to get help. This is going to be the help that Matt needs to help, recapture the city and take it back and everything. Nope, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Sheila turned, recorded it, showed it to Fisk.
yeah, and yeah, indeed.
So the cops. So we're at the cops showing up to Matt's apartment now.
Then I just have a note that blackout. Holy shit, that was insanely
Oh,
huge.
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's.
The fact that Fisk had the ability to get that done on short notice,
And
'cause
not
it
just
wasn't,
not
it
just like a
wasn't
block or
planned.
two either.
No,
this
it wasn't
is like,
planned.
This is the whole fucking island of
Yeah,
Manhattan.
and it's not planned because he didn't know that Poindexter was going to take a shot at him, but he's
Yeah.
using that to his advantage. So he's like, okay, quick, blackout code alpha.
Yeah.
like do the blackout, do the blackout.
Yeah, which you see him saying to bring so and so in, and there's a dude in like a utility outfit.
and that's what did it.
yeah. And then my next note, Frank.
Yeah, I know. Frank showing up in his apartment, so cool. And then the whole like, I'm not playing patty cakes line. You're an asshole, flipping him off.
I knew immediately someone is in the apartment. He does a slight thing with his face where I'm like, okay, someone's in there. I'm like, it's 90% it's Frank, 10% it's Karen. That was my.
I knew it was Frank.
That was
I'm
my.
like, Frank's here to help him.
I'm like, yeah, 90% that it's Frank, but I'm like 10% though it could be that Karen has rushed back or whatever. So, Nightgown Man.
And nightgown. Is that your new costume, Red?
Is great.
And then you're an asshole, Frank. I know.
I need 10 seasons of these two. Just
Right?
I don't care about either of them on their own at this point. Just give me them both.
I know.
Like can you imagine a two-hander show with Daredevil and Punisher?
Woo!
Like
Yeah.
I don't even care if Spider-Man can't be in this part of the universe. I just give me both
right.
because they're perfect.
got it.
They're perfect together.
Charlie Cox
And
and
The chemistry of Frank Castle,
John Bernthal.
John Bernthal, yeah.
Bernthal. Those two. I swear to God, I could watch 50 hours of this.
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly. And then phone call. That's definitely Karen. He says
Absolutely.
like got a phone call. It's like,
Absolutely.
yeah, and then like I love that because I feel like even the original show didn't do a great job beyond the second season of Karen feels like there wasn't as much connection with Karen and Punisher. I feel like they kind of almost dropped it in the original show. So I'm glad this show is kind of picking it back up.
Yeah.
Because it felt not that there was a ton
I think
for them to cross over, but
I think there was some in Punisher season 2.
Okay, which I haven't
Which
seen.
you haven't watched.
So
I think I may be fabricating.
it just felt like Netflix. It felt like it was like you built this to be such a fucking strong thing to the point where like the only reason Matt and Foggy are helping Frank is because of Karen. Like
Yes.
there's a connection here that's deep and meaningful, and it just felt like it kind of got dropped a little bit. So I'm really just over the moon that they're like playing it up here. And then you already mentioned the line, not playing patty cake with these fanboys. I love you still calling them fanboys. And also I'm just cheering. I'm like,
Kill 'em.
bravo, kill every fucking one of them.
I know you
dude.
would. I know you would.
I do not fucking care what Matt says. Just kill every fucking one of them.
So what'd you think of the fight?
I mean, incredible. Also, right before when he's like, they're getting out of the van, I saw North with the Punisher thing, and I was immediately like, he's the one that fucking killed White Tiger.
Yeah.
We get the reveal like a minute or so later, but just him with that on his chest. I'm like, it's very meaningful that they don't show you the rest of the goons with that on their chest until after that. I'm like, the first one you see with it, I'm like, and of course we're led to believe that he's all apprehensive. And I'm like, they bamboozled me. The second I saw him in the van, I'm like,
You ready?
they fucking got me.
You
It
ready?
was him.
You ready? I don't think it was him.
Oh, it was him.
Listen. North never admits that he killed Ayla. He stood with his own, is what he says. I think we're going to find out later that it was Pal or one of the other cops, because later on we see he's not the only one with a Punisher vest.
I know. It's
I'm just saying, I don't think that they're going to make Pal this big central figure, this big character, have North from the comics, and that's my first note here. Surprised North is dead already. With how much you talked about him. North is dead.
No.
Yes, he is.
No way.
He's in the apartment when it blows up. He's dead.
Did you see a body, sir? It's comic books.
He's dead. I think that they're shifting and pulling the wool over a comic reader's eyes and making you think, oh, North, he's important. I think they're transferring everything from North to Powell. And I think Powell is going to be the one because Powell doesn't die. Powell's the one that captures Frank. Powell's the one that tries to get Frank to turn and be one of them and everything. I think Powell's the one that probably killed the White Tiger, Ayla.
Yeah.
I think that North is one of them.
I think they bamboozled me. That's my read is it's him, and they gave you the whole apprehensive thing to fucking throw you off the set. Because again, in the comics, he's one of the worst motherfuckers. Like he's just anti-vigilante across. Like as bad as Fisk is in the show, that's the way he's been in the comics. So I'm like, it seemed weird. And I'm like,
that's why I think that I don't think that North. I think they're name dropping North, but I think the character of North from the comics is being put into Powell, and everything you're describing is Powell to a T, man. And so that's where I think that's where they got you.
The fact they didn't kill him in this season, Powell. Oh my god.
That's Exhibit A, Your Honor. I think that they think they got their guy. And I think it's going to be a big bombshell later when they find out that Powell's the one that pulled the trigger on White Tiger. I think it's going to be like you're going to be like, oh damn, I thought it was North because that's who they confronted and he died and
could be
so and everything.
But I think my read is that it was him 100%, and they just completely bamboozled us with him trying to be all like, oh, I don't know, like whereas the whole time he's like, yeah, I fucking iced the motherfucker.
I just think, why wouldn't he own it? Why wouldn't he own it? Why wouldn't you piss them off there? You know, like, you're going to go out, you're going to die. Why wouldn't you just be like, yeah, I killed him, fuckers. I'd kill you, too, if I had the chance, you know?
Yeah.
Something like that. No, he's just, I stood with my own. I did what I had to do. I was just following orders.
Yeah.
And everything. I'm just saying, I noticed that when I was watching it. Like, I paused it, and I was like, I rewound it. Like, I don't usually do that my first time through an episode. On my second or maybe third time watching an episode, I'll go back and I'll rewind and fast forward and find things. But this time I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
He didn't say he did it.
Yeah.
He never admitted it.
Maybe. But
and he was being tortured. I mean, let's be perfectly honest. His hand was pinned with a knife.
But one, he's alive. And two, I do think it'll still be.
You really think he's alive?
It's comic books, dude. He's
Again, okay, but how?
and they also nailed the casting. This actor is like perfect for this role too. He just looks like he did in the.
But is he a big enough? I mean, they've killed characters instantly in the MCU, so it's not out of the realm that he is dead and gone.
Possibly.
I mean, I'm just saying. But if you are transferring everything from the comic North to PAL, why would you keep this character around then?
Yeah, just
because it lulls you into a false sense of security.
Because I think Feige's done a really good job of not wasting too much comic book talent. I mean, stupid speedsters aside, which nobody cares about.
Hey. hang on. Monkey check. Okay, monkey's good. Pull up that monkey real fast. My wife was busy. She's here now. She needs to see it.
Oh yeah, look at that. Look at this little.
This
dude.
is what I'm saying when I say monkey check, because he puts that fucker right there behind the chair, and I can't see it. Stop banging the drums. You know what happens when he does that? Asshole.
But you asked the question. I don't think I answered it properly. The fight was incredible.
Oh, it was.
This apartment fight. Seeing Frank gut a corrupt cop was just masterful.
It was gooey.
It was so good. And then the funny thing is, in the last episode, we covered the director saying there was something in the next episode. He's like, you'll know it when you see it. There was a couple of these Frank shots where I'm like, that might have been it, man. He just gutted that dude.
It wasn't it.
We know
it's not.
No,
now.
I know now,
my
but
God.
like, in real time, I was like, that might be it. That was actually pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Hatchet to the head. That was pretty great. Yeah, so I of course cheered Frank killing them. I want him to kill every single one of them. Just I don't care.
Yeah.
And I don't believe in Matt's mentality with this.
You don't believe in the Batman,
No.
which is so. I still don't understand it. You're a Superman fan. I don't understand it. Like if you were a diehard Punisher fan, it would make perfect sense.
Yeah.
But you are the fan of the most Boy Scout of Boy Scout superheroes.
But I don't think those are necessarily like the opposites, because who is Frank's ultimate hero? It hasn't been. I wish they would have done that in the show.
It's Captain America.
Captain America. I wish he would have said that to them when they had him on the chair, and like we idolize you and stuff. And I just wish they would have just thrown the line in. Captain America's there for you to idolize, not me.
Yeah.
It's simple line.
It's right there.
It's right there,
It's
man.
right there.
It's like the perfect setup in like, what is it, volleyball?
Yep, you set you up and
then
spike it home.
And they didn't spike it. So it's fine, but especially because we all know Captain America, right? Like that's one of the most iconic MCU characters at this point. So it's like, but yeah, this duo fighting this squad is just insanely good. I mean, this is just incredible. It was insanely visceral. It was great.
Yeah.
I couldn't get
Good
enough
to
of
see
it.
Matt able to still move despite his flesh wound.
Yeah. I do think that was kind of a, from the Dark Tower side, a Roland thing. Like, wounding Matt in the tail end of the last episode helped this episode. Because, like, honestly, if Matt's not wounded, not to jump ahead too far, does he not just go into Red Hook?
The port, yeah. No.
If he's full Matt, and he wouldn't have any problem with it.
No.
So I think you have to wound him to, like, one, make him need Punisher for this part of it, and then two, to make shit to where he doesn't go in and, you kind of need to leave him on kind of the edge without being able to solve things. So
yeah, he would have just gone full Arkham series with gargoyles and taking guys down and stealth takedowns and everything until he got to the point where he's like, okay, I can handle the last 7.
Yeah.
And then just beat the shit out of him.
Also, they need to do a Daredevil game because it'd be easy on graphics. It's just blank screen.
No, the world's on fire.
A first person Daredevil game. God. So then we got the flashbacks kind of cutting in as Frank's the devil in the shoulder.
Yep.
Do it, Red. Do it.
Yeah.
Kill him. I was just like, yes. I mean, I don't want Matt to do it because that's not Matt, right? Matt can't kill.
Yeah.
I think later on Karen throws that at him too with the Red Hooks thing. She's like, if you go in there, you're either going to die or kill someone.
Yeah.
And it's like that, which is worse? Like
that probably stopped him more than his shoulder, but still,
yeah, exactly.
The shoulder was on his mind.
But like from his perspective, what would be worse, dying or killing? Like, and
killing.
So I'm never.
If he dies for a cause, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
But if he goes and kills someone,
it changes everything.
That ruins everything. Yeah.
And then Matt saving North because Punisher was about to kill him there, and oh my god.
Well, North died, so it's okay.
I don't think so, sir. Also, R.I.P. Matt's apartment. It's been with us for a long time now.
It's a different apartment.
No, that's the classic apartment.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's a completely different building.
No, it's got the wall coming when you walk in the room and everything. That's where his suits are at.
It's a completely different building.
No.
Yes.
That's the same apartment.
No,
dude.
that is a completely different building, a completely different apartment. He does not live in Hell's Kitchen anymore.
He has that apartment still, though.
No, it's not the same apartment from the original Daredevil series. There's no billboard outside his window.
No, but they lost that in the 3rd season, too.
No, it was there.
No.
Yeah, I just rewatched it. It's there.
So did I. Toward the tail end, there was a point where I'm like, where's that billboard that was like why he got the cheap apartment?
That is not the same apartment.
We see the apartment.
He doesn't have steps up in his apartment in the dining room to the kitchen. His kitchen is behind the sofa in the original. So you have the door that you come in with the wall. On the other side of the wall is the kitchen. And then he usually collapses on the couch right there. Because there's shots of him on the couch when Foggy's in the kitchen yelling at him. Frank is up and to the left in the kitchen when Matt's on the couch.
I'll have to watch it again. We've seen the apartment.
It's a different
We've
apartment.
seen his apartment in this show, though.
It's a different apartment.
They've showed us his apartment in this.
The original apartment, he moved. I think they even say that. He doesn't live in that apartment anymore.
Yeah,
it's a different
we
building.
do see it in this show, for sure.
I don't think we do.
I think we do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Because his suits are upstairs on the roof, not in the closet.
Oh, yeah, but he moves it up to the roof when it's not just one suit that can fit in a Foot Locker. Because in the original show, he's got one suit, and
his bedroom's on the same floor. In his other apartment, his bedroom was upstairs. Because the ninja assassin in season 2, he throws him down the stairs.
Yeah, because he's got the stairs to the roof.
There's no stairs in this apartment in this season. It's a completely different apartment. It's a completely different building.
Also, give me 10 seasons of Matt and Frank.
I
said that earlier, but here's my note for it.
Here's your note for it.
And
then, of course, we get the reveal that it's Karen that called, and she's there to pick him up.
And she's there, yeah.
And then, of course, shotgun.
Which
you got to call it.
He can't call it, though. You can't call it till it's in your sight.
Until it's in eyesight. Not your eyesight, just eyesight. Until you can see the car. And he can't see a little bit.
When he touches it, he can call shotgun.
No. What do you got against the blind?
Frank should have thrown a flag there. Said, no, that's mine, dick.
Frank's a good guy. He understands that Matt was shot. So.
Oh man, I love.
Frank got shot there too, though.
And I love they build on the Karen and Frank connection from season 2. There's a lot of pregnant pauses with the two of them there,
and
as well as later.
And then Matt notices it.
Later, Matt talks about the heartbeats, but also her heartbeat for him. So there's
it's reciprocal.
Some shenanigans going on there. Yeah, I mean. Yeah, well,
reciprocal.
He heard her heart. But we don't have any indication of his heart.
No, yeah, she asks Daredevil. She says, "You heard his heart too."
No, we don't. Matt, we don't have any.
Oh,
so we know she has her heart is going for Matt, and then their hearts are going together.
Her heart's going for Frank.
No, and him, and because she says, "Did you hear my heart did you hear my heart when I saw you?" And he says, "Yes," and then smiles. So there's some shenanigans.
Well, there's the romantic stuff is her and Frank.
I don't know, man. There's still some unresolved issues there. The only one we don't know about is Matt because he didn't narc on himself.
He didn't know.
Narcs on others, but
typical blind person, right, Ted?
So Daniel's scene with the city council is kind of scary. I feel like Daniel's been kind of putz through most of the show.
The last couple episodes, he's been showing a side that
slow, and then that scene was just like, oh my god, like
that's straight out of like The Sopranos or some shit. It's almost like he knew someone.
Oh man, it's almost like he was raised on the set with a lot of crazy people. So a cop killing a looter who was surrendering and then pulling his hat down and calling him a mass vigilante.
Ooh,
that's rough. Again,
and then the one standing next to him was just like his partner.
Yeah. And then Matt hearing the heartbeats. Again, we already just talked about that, but it's like, again, it's kind of, what's all this mean? It'd be cool because I think Frank and Karen have never been super like romantic. there's been feelings there, but it's usually like admiration, respect.
Are you
and
talking
like,
show or comic? Clear it up. For us.
show.
Okay,
in
thank
the
you.
show, like the old show never really played a romantic angle with those two.
It's more of like a Karen really cares about him because of what he
Yes.
went through.
Yes, exactly. Because she's the only one. She's the one that fully discovers his backstory, so she's always gonna have a soft spot for him.
Yeah.
This show now is potentially leading us to a road where maybe there's some feelings with those two. That's
I
beyond.
took it the hint that it was Frank and
Yes.
Karen's heartbeats that were beating fast for each other.
Yes.
I missed the line where she asked about when she saw him.
Yeah, because he pauses for a second, then he's like, "Did you hear?" Or she says, "Did you hear my heart when I saw you?" And then he like pauses, yeah, and then smiles. So it's like, just adding.
I missed that whole conversation.
Adding
right there.
some complexity
Yeah.
to the whole thing there. Avocados at Law, great callback to the old show.
Looking for
Was
the
it season
file-
2
I think so.
with the flashbacks?
Yeah.
Elektra season 2. So I always fucking want to put her in the 3rd season for some reason.
It's because she's in Defenders, so she's in 2 and 4.
Yeah. So it's the callback to season 2 then, because season 2 is the one where you get a lot of college flashbacks.
Yes.
And that's where it's at, because they're drunk and he's, avocados at Law.
Yeah.
So that was a cool callback, and they didn't full on spell it out. I mean, he kind of explains it to Karen a little bit, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought they did a good job of it. They did a perfect.
They didn't over-explain it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking for the file, the tender moment with Karen and everything, going over like the avocados a lot and everything. I'm like, dude, she's fucking dead. Like, you don't start making someone like all tenderized and everything like that if she's not gonna die. I meant this episode.
Oh, okay.
I just thought she was gonna die.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's it. They're showing us who's gonna die next. Here it comes.
I think Karen's like, I'm 1 week away from retirement.
I know. It's like, God damn it, Karen.
I'll be right back. Let me go check out that strange noise.
Hang on, let me finish this.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you ever noticed that in any movie or TV, nobody coughs unless they're terminal? No, like very rarely does someone just have a cold. If they're coughing, they've got like
Yeah.
fucking stage 4 cancer, right? It's just those weird movie things where it's
Yeah.
like there's never someone that's just like, I just traveled, I got sick on the plane.
Oh
it's,
yeah,
it's
sorry,
always
I got
like
a cold.
you like a character coughs, and you're like,
They're dead.
they got cancer. Like it's just so. What I'm getting at is I wonder if screenwriters just go to WebMD and go cough. Oh, stage 4 lung cancer. Great.
Yep, that's it.
Got it. So Red Hook is a free port. Finally, the revelation of what's been going on with all of this. There's been a lot of mystery, and I was wondering if they were even going to reveal it all to us now or into the next season. So, so the one call out I have here is it reminds me of Madripoor from Falcon and Winter Soldier. That's a free port as well. So, basically a criminal empire, which of course you have one like right there in New York. Like that would be
insane.
like Fisk says, we made millions. This will allow us to make billions. Like, which truthfully, yes.
And
like,
the U.S. government couldn't do a damn thing about it.
yeah. No, I don't think that's real, but in real life,
Obviously.
but in the Marvel universe,
I would hope it's not.
yeah, exactly. Oh, and then Frank killing goons. I'll take 5 season, please.
The shot of Frank coming out of the shadows where the skull becomes like the first thing visible.
Yeah, the Michael Myers
It's
shot.
so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was such a cool shot.
Yeah, and just everything. Him killing goons, I'll take 5 seasons. So 10 seasons of Matt and Frank, and then 5 extra seasons.
5 of those seasons are him killing.
Just killing.
And Matt's there trying to stop him. No, Frank, don't do it.
I do love that whole aspect of like in the fights when Frank's killing people and Matt's trying to stop him or whatever. I do love that. I'm a sucker for that.
Okay, I have to go back to that fight real fast where he's like, "Don't kill North," like stops him from killing him. He's like, "Oh yeah."
What about this guy?
Picks up a gun. What about this guy? Bam! Shoots him. Matt's like, "God damn it!"
You're hopeless, Frank, dude. And I'm cheering. I'm just like, Matt, I love you, but you're wrong. Like, let Frank do. Let Frank be Frank.
Let Frank.
Yeah. Let Frank, please. Frankly, let Frank.
Frankly, let Frank. We should put that on a shirt. and then have the Punisher logo below it.
Yeah. Bummed that Frank couldn't kill them all. At least that finicky fuck like that.
Ow.
That was a knife.
I'm telling you.
That was a knife to my.
I tell you.
He's dead next season.
I tell you, there's a reason they're keeping him alive. There is a reason they're keeping him alive, and it's because he shot White Tiger. I'm telling you, that's the reason.
And the reason I think it's North is because I think we would have thought it was Powell. We thought it was Powell originally, period. It's just like, that's going to be the guy it is. So, like, you think it's him. Again, I don't know. We'll see.
I think we're going to find out that there's more than one person with Punisher spray painted on their bullets. We found out there's more than one that have a bulletproof vest, so...
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and I already mentioned earlier the hatchet to the head, glorious.
Yeah.
Sheila selling the commish out. I don't care about her crying. Fuck her. I hope she pays.
Yeah, her turning on me shocked the hell out of me. I think I
Yeah.
said that earlier, but
Yeah.
I honestly did not expect it. I honestly expected it to come to the point where Fisk would just have her offed.
Yeah. I've been thinking that the whole season, but then when the scene starts too, you're hearing a recording. Again, my first impression was there's a fucking recording device in the walls. That was just when they were having that conversation.
Yeah.
So then you hear it, I'm like, oh my God, there was fucking recording devices.
And then you see that it was her
Then
phone.
the reveal, I was like, oh my God.
Oh.
And yeah, again, I don't give a fuck about your crying. Like, don't. I have no pity
Nope.
for her. I hope fucking Frank takes her piece by piece. I don't fucking
Damn.
care. I don't care.
Now, do you hope that she gets the Gallo treatment?
I don't think we'll see that again. To be
think
honest,
that's a
I think
one-off?
that's a yeah. It becomes less effective if you do it too much.
Okay.
So, no, yeah.
You ready to talk about that? Because obviously that's what the director was talking about.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. So Frank is given an offer, and then is given a very frank response, which I had to write it that way because Frank, it is Frank, it's also Frank, right?
He was frankly honest with them.
And then my next note, the head. Holy fucking shit!
Good God!
So much for Disney watering it down.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh man.
Yeah.
And then just insane. I mean, I talked to Hayden a little bit about it. He was not too happy.
I bet he wasn't. I bet his jaw hurt
And
afterwards.
the fact that you can see the skin peeling and shit. Have you seen the behind the scenes?
Yes.
Dude,
Yes.
incredible.
The fact that they got it on the first take, but the only reason they did it again is because they didn't like the way that the blood splattered on D'Onofrio.
Yeah. Which is fair.
They're like, okay, let's do it again. You did it great the first time. Let's do it again.
I wonder how many heads they had made.
Apparently they had too many because they got it on the first try, but they just redid it a second time because...
But I just mean when you're making them initially
Yeah.
and you don't know if it's going to be 1 take or 10 takes, like how many heads do you think they made?
I think they probably start with 4.
4?
That's the number I would start with.
Okay.
Not too many because that's a lot of money, and everything like that.
But you don't short yourself.
But you don't short yourself.
Yeah.
So what do you think happened to the other two? Do you think D'Onofrio's just like, hey, I'm having a hard day. Can I see Gallo?
I hope what they did is they brought him in full costume to a children's hospital.
God damn it, Tad. Wow.
They have all these Marvel people go to the hospitals. Like, come on.
Oh, you're the worst. You're just the worst. Heather accepting the position from Fisk.
Yeah. So we didn't get the betrayal full on that we thought. Now, still a betrayal. Like, she's still fully because that was my two-way prediction. 1, she was going to be fully invested with Fisk.
Yep.
And 2, that she was going to reveal Matt's identity, but she didn't figure out Matt's identity like I thought she would.
Yeah.
So that part of it is out the window. But she's fully accepted. And again, we already know her thoughts on vigilantes. He wants her to be the director of mental health,
which is going to be.
It's going to be 100% anti-vigilante.
I got a feeling that's going to be a really big deal in the next part of the season.
Oh, for sure. And she's going to find
second season, whatever they're calling it.
She's going to find out too.
Yeah,
she's going to find out. So
yeah, absolutely.
I just thought it would come.
It's just
quicker.
a matter of what she does with it, and I kind of hoped that she would say no. I don't like her with some of the stuff that she said. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
But I still kind of hoped at the end that she would just listen to Matt in her head and be like, all the shit going on, maybe I shouldn't do this right now.
Yeah.
But then she accepts it. I'm like, yep, you're fucking dead to me. Like
Yeah.
like the 0.001% chance I would have liked you as a character is gone now. So what happens to you? I'm just kind of
Devil's advocate.
wash my hand.
Devil's advocate, again, she does have a connection to Fisk that is not just like, oh, that's the mayor. She knows him on a personal level and knows him through Vanessa, which is even more of an internal look. But also, really, like, to move from just being a private psychiatrist to, like, in charge of mental health for New York City, like, that is kind of a prestigious thing where it's like if a president was to offer you a role in his administration or, New York mayor is pretty much the biggest political office that's not governor, right?
Right.
Like, because it is such a big city. Like, in a lot of cases, people say the New York City mayor is a higher on the pecking order than New York's governor. Because it's like, who cares about the New York governor? What the fuck do you have? A bunch of farmland? This guy's in charge of the biggest city on the planet, you know? So, there's that aspect of like it may not just be full on whatever, but ultimately I do think she is buying into his views of vigilantes though. So yeah, I could see the hatred. Karen speaking truth and connecting Matt to the city enough to give him a better idea than marching into Red Hook. Not at 100%. So I like that. I like
not
her
only
having
not
that.
at 100%, but also his mind isn't right.
Yeah, no, for sure. He's still finding, because he had that whole speech about kind of losing himself without Foggy, which is great because that's what you and I have both talked about over the course of this season, where it's like we don't really feel like he fully has his own, like Foggy's death spiraled him.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like that was part of that was like Daredevil's done. I'm going to fucking focus on what Foggy said. But I think that part of that might be that like that balance of what Foggy brought in his life. Without that, is he just going to become fucking Punisher if he did Daredevil? So also martial law, vigilantism is illegal, and curfews. Oof, what a dark place to leave us.
I have a bone to pick. I was very confused about martial law because I have seen martial law used before in movies, but I've also have a father who's in the military who was a military police for a few years. Martial law makes it so that Fisk loses power. Civilian government goes out the window. It becomes military rule. The local army commander or military commander would take over, and all laws are enforced by the military then, with police supporting them. I looked this up. I did my due diligence, and I looked up U.S. laws for this. If Fisk declares martial law, which, by the way, he doesn't have the authority to, state governors, the president, and Congress have the ability to declare martial law. He doesn't have the ability to declare martial law, but if he declares martial law, he loses power to the military.
But that's also, he also has full buy-in from the entire thing because he's got blackmail on everyone. So.
Well, that's the police. He doesn't have blackmail on the governor. That's why Gallo was going to the governor. And that's the thing, is that the governor has the right to declare martial law. So if you declare martial law, it's a little thing. It sounds good when you declare martial law because that's what a lot of people think is, oh, it's martial law. He needed to declare a state of emergency.
Yeah.
Is what he should have declared. And he did.
Which is essentially what he did
He
anyway.
did, but when he says martial law, he basically signs over all authority that he has
honestly,
until the emergency is over.
I don't think so, because I don't think he actually, like, truthfully did martial law by the letter of the law. He's calling it that, but essentially what he's saying is, like, we're not playing by the rules anymore.
Yeah,
like
but it's a little thing, but I'm declaring martial law. The only way that he can do that is by giving his authority over to a military commander. The National Guard, the Army, normally it's the National Guard, rolls in then. They've done this before in America. I looked up instances where they had, because this sat wrong with me. I'm like, wait a minute, martial law is military. So does he have connections to the military? Because I thought, oh my God, Fisk has military connections?
We also don't know if this universe is like ours, though, in that way. When you
what do you mean?
When
we're going to start saying that martial law doesn't mean the same thing when everything else in this universe does?
I mean, you got S.H.I.E.L.D., you've got all kinds of, like, extra there's a lot of different things in this world that doesn't match ours one-to-one. Like things like S.H.I.E.L.D., there's like all the, like the, what is it, Disaster, I'm blanking.
One that's in, with Marvel.
Yeah, like the
Disaster one that comes after her.
Yeah, I'm conflating, yeah, either way. It is a different world, and there's a lot of different things at play. I mean, yeah, because there's the disaster cleanup thing from this first Spider-Man.
With Vulture, yeah.
There's Roxxon's been referenced in Daredevil, as a matter of fact. So there's a bunch of different things going on that's like, I don't know. It's kind of like the Spider-Man games, right? It's like they're, I think even there they say whatever, and it's like, it's not the military, it's Roxxon that ends up taking over the city.
He should have, I mean, if he had done like what they did in the Spider-Man games where he says, I'm bringing in private security to shore up our what's the right word? Our low men count of the police.
Yeah.
That would have been amazing. But I just, martial law means military. So that's where I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
That I paused it and I was like, wait. Because I thought for a second, dude, we were about to have a bombshell that Fisk had connections with someone in the military and had blackmail on someone in the military.
I mean, would you put it past him?
No, but I thought that's the way they were going, but that's not what was shown.
Also, they closed the island off, too.
Yeah.
That's
the problem is that if he declares that he's not in power and that someone's in power, then the National Guard should become rolling across the bridges and take control. That's what I was saying. It seems like it's a little bit of a flub that it should not have been martial law.
Yeah. Again, different universe that allows them to fudge whatever they want.
I feel like that's such a cop-out, though, to just be like, oh, well, martial law literally means this. Well, it's a different universe, so we can just do whatever the fuck we want.
That's exactly the shit Stanley's done for 100 years. Where it's just like, oh, wait. I mean, even like the MCU, the people that on the line that have tried to like work out the presidents and how like the 4-year terms would work in the MCU, it doesn't work. Like that. Yeah. It's just movies need to do what they need to do, or shows need to do what they need to do. So yeah, Matt admitting the darkness without Foggy, the army at Josie's. Some people bitched about that you don't have Luke Cage and
what army?
Well, that's what they call it.
What army?
Good cops.
I'm sorry. 6 people with no superpowers, one retired cop, one detective there. Why the hell was she there in the first place?
What? She's never liked Fisk.
Yeah, okay, but does she know Matt?
No, but Cherry was her old partner.
Was she? Okay, that's the connection.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then 3 random patrol cops.
Yeah. And but that's exactly because so the director actually said something on an interview where they're like, man, why didn't like Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, like he's like, because this is The Empire Strikes Back, and he's like, you can't have a bunch of other heroes in there without it feeling like, okay, everything's fine. Like he's like, I wanted it to feel like a dark, like the absolute lowest point moment, and he's like, that's what you do is you just have the few people we've seen in this series, and that's all we got for now.
You didn't have just the people who were on the Millennium Falcon at the end of Empire Strikes Back. You had the whole Rebel fleet there. They were on the medical frigate. They weren't on the Falcon. So it's not just them. It's the whole Rebel Alliance. So that's I kind of get where they're coming from. It was very if there had been more to build up some of those characters, the only 2 okay, we have Cherry, who's a retired detective. We have the other detective who had her moment to shine at the bank hostage situation. And we have Karen. Then we have a bartender and 3 patrol cops. Yeah. That's it?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah,
that's the best. No, that's the best that the city can do.
Well, no, that's within Matt's vicinity, because then, as the montage goes, and you see the young white tiger, you see Fisk with all of his people in the cage, which thank God, because some of those people I was worried they were dead. So it looks like he's killed no one in that sense. Like the lady that couldn't find her husband. Like there's all these people.
What's his name? The Swordmaster.
Yeah, the Swordsman.
Is that his
Swordsman?
Swordsman.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we see Frank in the cage. And then the young white tiger is shown. You see BB's reporting, which we still haven't had a payoff on BB saying, do you think I put everything under my own name? So like there's I think that was the impression you're trying to get, is this is what is in Matt's immediate circle, but there's a lot of good in New York that's going to step up for this. And I think also believe 100% that some of the other defenders are showing up in the next season. I have a vibe. I just think that this is the wrong spot, because again, it feels less absolute darkest point of night. What is it? Night is darkest just before the dawn. It's that moment, and it doesn't look as dark if Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, all these other people are here. Suddenly it looks like, we're okay.
I think that if you want to have the absolute darkest moment, you have it Matt and Karen, and that's where it ends. You don't have them walk out into a half-filled bar with 4 named characters, and then a bunch of extras. Like it just doesn't feel like the rallying cry to raise an army, raise an army. You got 4 people.
Yeah, it's the humble beginnings of it, and then again with the montage, you see some of the other players. The other one, my big prediction, Bullseye is going to be on their team.
I mean, you did see him in their old offices.
Way too much stuff with him, showing him with like contemplative. Also, him with Vanessa was very apprehensive. I think they're 100% pushing him for a face change.
I mean, she like pulled the medicine away from him.
Yeah, he's 100% going to be on Matt's side in the season 2. That's my prediction.
Okay.
And then Bullseye shown, and then the end credit scene, Frank escaping, because Frank needs his
officially the dumbest motherfucker in the entire MCU.
But
that guy is the dumbest guy in the history of the MCU.
Star-Lord for punching Thanos.
No, this guy is dumber.
Nah.
oh, I just want to shake your hand. What the fuck are you? Do you know who that man is?
But it's that delusion that people get where it's like, there's a guy I idolize. Oh, he wants to shake my hand, and like
No.
Frank played it the perfect way too, where it's like, like
he is the dumbest person in the entire MCU.
besides Star-Lord.
No, I'll argue this. He is dumber than Star-Lord.
All right, so we went a little longer than I thought, but we still got some time for
We got a half hour.
Yeah,
We're going to talk about one of your favorite movies of all time.
I was hoping to hit it around an hour mark, but this was a big fucking finale.
It
too.
was a huge finale.
and also overall, love this fucking show.
Yeah.
This show has been incredible.
Uh,
And I'm not trying to say the guy's smart. I do think that Frank played that guy perfect in a way to where like he played it humble enough where it's like, and he knows the dude idolizes him, so it's just like, I just want to shake your hand. Like,
I get what they're doing with this season and everything, but I kind of feel a little bit let down. I do.
really?
Yeah.
I mean, I know that.
The reason why I feel let down is because of the end credit scene. The end credit scene could have been him calling Luke, calling Jessica. Okay, then I wouldn't have bitched about the bar at all, because I know that at least he's not being fucking stupid. Because here's the problem, okay? I understand where you're coming from, and I understand where the director's coming from, saying this has to be the darkest point. They have to feel hopeless and everything like that. My problem is that that's illogical. How can you say that there's no hope in a world where Luke fucking Cage is on the same fucking island
No,
as Matt?
because also it's completely unearned when it comes to storytelling. This show has done nothing to establish any of those. The people in that bar, there's a couple extras to show you there's some good uniformed police people, but then otherwise it's characters that they've spent time in this season building, so that's earned. Now in the next season, when he starts calling up and finding Jessica and Luke and whatever, which I believe will happen, then it's more earned, because like now you actually have to do the work. It's not just like oh my god. The other part, the post-credit, the only reason they did that is because I think the Punisher show comes out before is going to take place before the next season of Daredevil. I don't know if it'll release before, because it's coming very quickly. It's less, 10 months away?
I don't know. I honestly forgot that there was a Punisher show coming.
No, not show. It's like a standalone, like kind of like the Guardians Christmas.
Oh,
like, what do
okay.
they call it? Like special presentation?
Yeah.
They've announced that, and I think Bernthal is directing.
Oh,
I
don't remember that at all.
Yeah, we covered that with this, and he's said like, oh, it's going to be brutal and everything, but it's a standalone, probably going to be an hour and a half, 2 hour long thing. But I 100% wonder if it's just going to be release Frank in that New York before Matt resolves it in season 2, right? Because
what if the whole special is him going and taking care of the fake Punishers, the lackeys, the fanboys, and he goes and kills, and it ends with him killing Pal.
Oh my god!
What if it's that?
Be still my heart.
Tad just got a little excited there. Calm down, Tad.
But I believe that's the reason, which fits the classic Marvel thing too, where it's like doesn't necessarily lead you to the next Avengers, but it might lead you to the next story, which may not be related. And I think that's what it is ultimately. Is I think you got to release Punisher so that he can then be in his own show, and then when it comes around to season 2, and he's maybe calling up Jessica and Luke, he also finds Frank, and you got the full Defenders.
Again, that's poor storytelling then. So why would Frank be captured then? Why even have him get captured then? It doesn't make any sense to have him get captured. Make that a cliffhanger. Oh my god, Frank's in a cage, and then to have it resolved in the end credit scene. We could have easily had Frank not get captured
to show a good arm break.
Have the whole bar scene, and then the end credit scene is where he walks into the back with Karen, and she's like, "Okay, that's great. That was a great speech, Matt, but really, what are we doing?" And he's like, "I got a plan." And he pulls out his and he says to his phone, because he can't see it, "Call Jessica Jones." And that's it. That's all you have to do. It's not something that's not earned. That's earned. He needs reinforcements. He needs more than 3 beat cops, a retired detective, an active detective, a legal assistant in Karen, and a bartender. He needs more help. And for him to start an army when literally superheroes are on the island with him, and he knows them, and he has their phone numbers, it's illogical, and it's asking us to suspend this disbelief that it has to be isolated. It's the most frustrating thing in a connected universe when you have multiple superheroes, when you have to just be like,
No,
Well, I guess Captain America doesn't give a shit about New York, you know?
because that's the classic thing where it's like, why do the Avengers show up for every Spider-Man thing to just help him out and make it easier? Because that's just not.
It's not. Yes, I
it's not how
understand.
it
I
works.
understand that. I'm not asking for them to come up and solve everything for Matt. I'm asking for one of them to show up, is all. And it doesn't make any sense. It makes Matt look stupid to me that he's not willing to call the people who would most easily help him with this.
Who's to say he even has their numbers still?
Why wouldn't he?
With him unplugging for a year, I mean, he didn't call Frank. He had to go find Frank. So
Yeah, because Frank's off the grid. Do you think Luke is? Who?
I haven't seen season 2.
Who,
so.
if we remember? Oh, okay, so in season 2,
and Jessica Jones,
Luke is not hiding. Luke's. Let me just put it that way, because I don't want to spoil it for you, because I think you're going to watch it, because you like Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Luke is not hiding in the end of season 2. He is fully out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I see no problem with it. I think it would have been dumb to have him in it. For me, it would have been too okay, just suddenly these guys are. I mean, I know it's the same universe, but it's I feel season 2 it'll be better because you'll be able to build to that, and it'll probably be. But if they're going to show up at all, they'll show up early to where it's hey, maybe we'll even see them dealing with their own corner of it. It's like the people bitching about the Spider-Man stuff. Sony stuff aside, in universe, that's a big fucking island. Spider-Man's doing his thing. You know, the one thing I wish...
If he is even being Spider-Man. From what we've heard about Spider-Man 4, maybe he's pulling back from being Spider-Man.
No, he's pulls back from being Peter.
That's what I had it backwards. My bad.
But again, it's a big island. So, that's always the best, hand wave you could do for any of this stuff is it's a really big island. So, there's a lot of stuff going on. And I'm sure all of them are doing their part. It's just, maybe he can't even get a hold of them. Maybe they're all so fucking busy fighting that, it's going to take, him swinging around and getting everyone. So
when you have to make excuses like that, that's where I have a problem with it. That's where it feels to me like it's just you're not looking at it logically. It makes no sense for them to not call each other. Why wouldn't Jessica Jones call him? Why wouldn't Luke call him? It's Daredevil. They know Daredevil's back. It's been in the news. So to me it's illogical, and that's where it takes me out of it. Who the fuck are these guys? And to me that's bad storytelling. Is if it takes you out of the story to be well, why isn't he doing this? That's my problem.
Yeah, and to me, I think it would just be gratuitous cameos if they were in it. And for this, I think it was cool to show Bullseye, Ayala, the niece.
I don't know what her name is, honestly.
Yeah, but I called her White Tiger. But and then BB, you're showing that okay, Matt's got his core here, but you've got people throughout the entire island that are gonna come together for this army. This is your symbol for it, but then you're also going to show some stuff to show there's a whole lot of this city that, and I think BB says it too. She's there's when she's interviewing the guys, some people are just watching or whatever. And
I still go back to my.
I think the whole city's going to turn on Fisk.
Of course that's the logical way for this to go.
Yeah.
I honestly wonder though, with them not putting any other defenders in here, if we're going to see them, that I might end up being Kate Bishop and the Young Avengers that is the reinforcements instead.
Could be.
Because
I wonder how they'll get back on the island.
Why? They would have a hard time getting into Manhattan.
Depends on how locked down he's got it.
Are you kidding me? Come on. You don't think that they would be able to find a way to get into Manhattan?
Depends on how locked down it is.
Oh, it's not. It's Fisk is using regular cops. You think that's going to stop superheroes? Come on, man.
None of them can fly.
Yes, Miss Marvel can.
No, she uses discs to walk.
Okay, I hate to break it to you, Ted. That's the equivalent of flying. I hate to break it to you. If she can go up in the air and go over the defenses, that's the same thing as flying.
And Kate's rich, but it doesn't mean that you can get any helicopters or planes if everything's shut down.
Doesn't mean that you can't do a halo jump. You're making all these excuses why it makes sense, but realistically, there is a lot of ways to sneak into an island.
There's probably a very specific reason they were in California. I'm just saying they're probably setting the stage. I do think the champions.
I wonder about the fact that we have a character tied with Kate Bishop. That's all I'm saying is that Swordsman and everything that happened with him with Kate Bishop. Him being locked in a cage is not going to go unnoticed by Kate, and if it does,
no,
that's That's bad.
Unless it gets resolved before she gets back.
It could. Frank could let everyone out because he's already free. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyways, let's talk about a happier story. much happier.
Judgment
Day.
Oh, it is a happy story, especially that nuclear scene there. Just
that is a still jarring scene.
Incredible. When I rewatched it, it just gave me chills. Like it's so incredible.
And that first scene too. I was a little disappointed though when I threw my copy on. I have the Blu-ray somewhere where I have the extended edition, but I didn't know where it was, and I just threw on the one that I have on my digital. It's only theatrical.
I'm okay with that, to be honest. Like, the extended is good every once in a while, but I think the theatrical's perfect.
I think the extended added just enough to make it better without making it, like, exuberantly long.
I think it killed the pacing. There's a few points when I could see why Cameron cut the stuff originally for the theatrical, because I think there's a certain points where it's like, it's really cool shit, but it kind of kills like the momentum, and I think
there's a couple.
Cameron's a genius.
There's
with
a couple
momentum.
things that needed to be left in, like the end where he tells which Sarah is which.
Yeah,
that should have been left. That should have been.
But
left
you didn't establish, because you cut the rest of the stuff out. You didn't establish the malfunctions.
Yeah.
So it's like,
but still, you don't have to establish it for him to look down and be like, "Oh, that's not a fucking human being."
I'm a huge Terminator 2 fan. It's one of my favorite movies, so I love both.
You need to explain that a little bit. You're a huge Terminator 2 fan, are you?
Yes.
Yeah, how many copies do you have? I told you to count, motherfucker.
Yeah, I forgot.
You had a month to count.
I forgot.
You didn't count.
No, I forgot.
How? You know what?
It's probably
You deserve that. You deserve that. How dare you?
I would venture a guess of about 16 would be my guess.
Legally drive.
So, yeah.
Not to mention the big hand. Where's the big hand at?
Behind you there.
It's behind me.
Yeah.
I can't reach that. I would, but I can't reach that.
No, and there's a lot of stuff blocking it, I think.
And then you got a Terminator 2 skull up there.
I got my T2 head over there.
Yeah.
So the hand came with a Blu-ray 4K, I think. And then the head came with like every copy that existed up to that point, which some of those I already had, and that's where like my count gets out of hand, because you
doubled up on ones that you already had.
Plus like this Blu-ray, they put out a couple steel books. I think I bought every steel book, even though that just means the case changed. There's a couple movies where I go nuts on, and T2 is one of them.
So there was a lot. We talked a lot about the Fantastic Four trailer, things that we noticed, things that we're hypothesizing.
Yeah.
And with Daredevil, the same thing. Obviously, we just got done with that. Terminator 2, we've obviously been watching because Tad watched a lot of rated R movies growing up. I did not.
Yeah.
I had to sneak my rated R movies. This was one of two that I would rewatch over and over again. It was this, Terminator 2, and Predator 2. Were the two movies that I would constantly sneak out of my...
That's really underrated. Such an underrated movie. Bill Paxton is a fucking legend.
Been killed by an alien, Terminator, and Predator.
Yeah.
One of three people who have done it?
Two.
Only two, okay.
He and Lance Hendrickson. And even some people try to debate that. Oh, he didn't die by the alien. I'm like, come on.
I mean, he died from his wounds, didn't he?
Yeah. It's like, just because he's a droid and like whatever, but it's like it eventually ended in his...
his existence terminated.
Yeah, so it's like...
terminated.
So it's still, that's a 1-2 punch. It's pretty
that's
great.
That's it, right there. I did notice one new thing that I've never caught before.
I did too, but go on.
Okay, I'll go first. The doctor's walking through the corridor talking about Sarah Connor and her delusions with the other doctors, right?
Yeah. Which, speaking about Heather from Daredevil, it's the kind of thing where, see, some of it all sounds diluted. We know that Sarah's right, but when he's explaining it, you're like,
God, she sounds nuts.
God, that sounds crazy.
Yeah, some machine from the future came into the past and tried to kill her because her son becomes the leader after a post-apocalypse. Yeah, it's kind of nuts.
Yeah. It's like, well, when you say it that way, Silverman.
Listen, you make a solid point there, sir. But the doctor says, when summing up Connor's condition, that the Terminators were sent back from the year 2029, he believes.
Yeah.
I've never looked into the Terminator lore. Is that the year when
that's what it shows
the humans win?
No, that shows the beginning of the film, though.
Is 2029 is when they're fighting.
So that's pretty much when the war is coming to its end, essentially.
And humans are winning.
Yes. Okay. That's the whole premise of the original
is that
movie.
the machines are losing and Terminators are being sent back to try and change them losing by killing John.
Yeah, it's basically a Hail Mary.
I honestly never caught the year.
That's more in the first movie, but
Yeah.
you get some of it from the second movie. So,
But when he said that, I'm like, 2029, hey, we're not there yet.
no,
We haven't reached that date yet, because I know August 29th, 1997 was a huge day for you.
Mm-hmm.
Tell that story. I love that story.
it was summer, so I was sleeping over with my cousin, and we were looking through the movies that we wanted to watch on the VHS collection, and it was always either Star Wars or Aliens or Terminator 2.
Yeah.
And for some reason, we picked Terminator 2, no conscious, whatever. We're watching it. When that gets mentioned, I was thinking in my head, I'm like, wait a minute. What's the date today? We went up and look at a calendar because there's no such thing as cell phones. And it was indeed August 29th, 1997.
And Tad definitely did a...
That's what they want you to think.
Sir, we are they.
So we stopped the movie and went outside to go look at the apocalypse.
Yeah, there wasn't one.
No, that's too bad. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
That would've
All of 11, 12-year-old Tad there. Right?
Yeah, 97 August, so yeah, before my birthday, 11, yeah.
11, yeah.
Yeah, so, good stuff. The one thing I noticed is Enrique. When Sarah's leaving to go kill Dyson, Enrique is trying to tell them, go south with the boy, she'll meet you. I've never noticed that dialogue before.
Oh.
He's trying to talk to them because she told Enrique, tell them to just keep going south and I'll go meet them up. And he's trying to tell them that, but
so she goes and kills Dyson and then comes and finds
back
them.
into Mexico south and then meets up with them again.
Oh.
I've never caught that dialogue in 30 whatever years watching this movie.
Interesting.
So kind of cool.
Do you remember off the top of your head when this movie came out?
91.
91. Okay.
Yeah, 91 for this, 93 for Jurassic Park. Yeah. So
94 for Jurassic Park.
93.
I thought it was 94.
No, 94 is Forrest Gump, Pulp Fiction, Shawshank Redemption. 93 is Jurassic Park.
You are correct.
Very rare I'm wrong on that, not to brag, but it is one of those things that just sticks in my brain for some reason, especially movies I own.
I need you to find a movie in 1992 so you can have the Terminator 2, the blank, and Jurassic Park.
92. Oh.
I'm going to need you to find one for us, Ted.
God, yeah.
So I know that you're a huge fan of Terminator 2. We've talked about it. You obviously told the story just now. But one of the things that you did tell me, and I don't know if you've ever talked about this. I know we had our Mount Rushmore of fandoms, and we also talked about, what makes us us and everything like that.
Yeah.
One of the big things is that Sarah Connor is one of your favorite characters of all time.
Yes.
Strong female leads are a thing that you adore.
Yes, for sure.
You have her and you have Ripley from Aliens.
Yeah.
Franchise.
Laurie Strode.
Laurie Strode in
Princess
Halloween.
Leia.
And Princess Leia.
That's the Mount Rushmore.
I literally was about to ask you for your Mount Rushmore, you motherfucker, you psychic son of a bitch.
That's always been it for me because I hate the damsel in distress. Like, it's just, and I will say part of that's personal, like growing up, my mom's a badass.
Your mom is a badass.
And she always has been. So it's like, I remember being on a playground at one point and like, I wasn't trying to insult the kid, but he's like, oh, my dad could beat up your dad. I'm like, my mom could beat up your dad. And it wasn't like trying to insult the kid. As an adult, it sounds like it. But as a kid, I was more just like, I know my mom will take your fucking dad's throat out. Like, I don't care who your dad is. So, and my mom.
You've told me stories where your mom's gone into schools to like defend you for stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, I would not want to be a principal when I call her Momage.
Yeah.
When Momage comes in to defend her baby boy Tad.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It's also funny because I call Tad evil in front of her, and she's like, "Oh, he's not evil," and I'm like, "Yes, he is."
But no, so for me, like just having, because it's kind of like like girls that like their dad is the definitive thing for like whatever. So it's that way to where it's just like for me, damsel in distress shit never worked for me because it's just like that's fucking pathetic. Like
my mom's not like that.
Yeah, it's like, like why would anyone act like that? Like,
and then also very early on, you were introduced to all Sarah Connor, Ripley, Laurie Strode, and Princess Leia. All four of those are from very early in your childhood.
Yo, for sure. They're formative for sure. Yeah. So, and I
mean, you're talking about watching Terminator 2 at 11.
Yeah, I mean, that was the umpteenth time.
And that was not the first time you're watching it.
No.
You had watched it well before that.
Yeah.
That's kind of indicative of what you're talking about, like having these characters throughout your whole life and everything.
Those are definitely cornerstone characters for me, for sure. So, and Sarah here is a much bigger badass, and this is always the bigger one for me. I remember being like, I don't know, 12-ish or something, probably, or maybe younger, 10 to 12, renting Terminator 1 because I had never seen it.
Yeah.
and I fell asleep. Like, I think because I was expecting Terminator 2. Because, like, in retrospect, I look back and because I love Terminator 1 now. As an adult, I've been able to watch it and be like, oh, dude, this is incredible. And honestly, I look at Terminator 1 and think, like, this is just a slasher movie.
It is.
Like, and like,
you have the unstoppable killer going after the damsel.
So I'm like, I'm like, why did I not like this as a kid? Why did this bore me? I'm like, two things. One, the love story part wouldn't have floated my boat as a 10-year-old or whatever, right? Girls have cooties. And then two, it's just like, because I had already seen 2 so many times, I went into 1 expecting 2, and when it's nothing like that, it just bored me to tears.
Yeah.
So all that to say, like, this was my introduction to this series, and it'll always be the foundation of it.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is that it's the same for me. Is I never saw Terminator.
Yeah.
My dad didn't even own a copy of it. He had Terminator 2. And I never saw Predator for the longest time either.
Yeah.
I had Terminator 2 and I had Predator 2. So when I watched Terminator for the first time, I actually think it was with you.
Oh, the first one.
Like we watched it together over at your house. That when we were in high school, that house you had over there.
Yeah.
I really think that we got together and I'm like, you're like, yeah, what should we watch? And I'm like, do you have Terminator? And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, I've never seen it. You're like, what? And I'm like, I'm 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I've seen Terminator 2 100 times, but I've never seen Terminator. I don't know.
And I probably would have been pretty fresh at it because, like, high school was probably about the time that I watched it for the first time. That was actually like, I know I think I earlier said as an adult, but high school is close to an adult in the sense of like you get a little bit more mature with your tastes and stuff. And I think that's the first time I was able to watch it and like appreciate it. So it would have been
you
new.
Actually watched it like the year before that I watched it.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh yeah, it's a good movie. And you told me about it.
Yeah.
Like it's good and everything. And I think you actually like talked me into watching it. So I was like, no, let's just watch 2.
Yeah.
You're like, no, you got to see 1.
Yeah.
And we watched it. And yeah, it's a good movie, but man, it's no 2.
No. I mean, yeah.
It's one of those ones that I'm sorry if anyone wants to be like, there's never a sequel that's better than the original. I'm like, I'm sorry, Terminator 2 is better than Terminator.
Cameron, Aliens.
Aliens is better than
like,
Alien.
People were saying that with when Avatar 2 is about to come out. I'm like, what? How dumb do you have to be to root or not root, but like to bet against James Cameron with a fucking sequel? Like, are you a moron? Like, come on.
Yeah.
And Avatar 2 was incredible, by the way, but like,
it was really good.
Like Cameron is
I don't know if I would put it above the first Avatar, but
I'd have to watch them both again to make that call. But
I've only seen the second one once, and I've seen the first one a whole bunch of times, so it's kind of
3's coming out this
skewed.
Year.
Is it this year?
December.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I need to see it in theaters. I missed 2 in theaters.
Yeah, all the crossover stuff. So the stepmom is Vasquez from Aliens.
Oh, is she really?
Yeah, a lot of people are thrown off.
Wait, the one that anyone ever mistaken you for a man?
No, how about
That's
you? Same actor.
Is it really the foster mom?
Mm-hmm. Janelle.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Todd is someone too, but I'm blanking. I want to say he was
in
Aliens. Yeah, but
he looked familiar.
I know he's familiar. I know he was like he had a really good part in 24. He was one of like the directors.
That's probably where I remember him from. I watched a couple seasons.
I want to say I want to say he's in Aliens, but now I'm like doubting myself.
It's funny we do that. Is there a new Predator trailer?
Yeah. T2 actor. Let's see if Google Foo will give it to me. Xander Berkeley. Let's see if Xander Berkeley was in Aliens or not. Terminator 2, Air Force One. Aliens is 86. If IMDb will load. So it's just one of those funny things because a lot of filmmakers end up using.
That's where I know him from. He's in the Air Force One.
Yeah, Air Force One.
He's the bad guy in Air Force One.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in Apollo 13 too.
Yeah, he's not in Aliens. I'm glad I didn't say that super definitively because I wasn't doubting that. So there Silberman obviously a return from the first one again. Not for me, it didn't matter because I saw this one first. But the set pieces in this one are incredible. And that's where I just like it's hard to root against or bet against Cameron because it's like when you look at this movie, you start with the opening futuristic stuff, like okay, whatever, it's all right, but like I've never liked the future Terminator stuff that much.
Which is why you never liked Salvation.
Yeah.
Like, Salvation was off to a bad start with you.
Yeah, because it's just like, to me, the whole cool thing about this movie is like that you're sending these things back to our time.
So why do I care about the future?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. There's other examples of that where it's like, I can't think of one off the top of my head, but there's times where like things are established in the background
Yeah.
for the sole purpose of setting up a new story, or for the story, right? And it's like, I get that Game of Thrones. People said that about like Robert's Rebellion. It's like everything you need to know about it, you learn through the course of Game of Thrones. And it's like, so people have said like, is there really a point in actually watching Robert's Rebellion? Because everything, its only sole purpose in the story was to establish where we start the story. So it's kind of that.
So if you go back and give me 4 seasons about Robert's Rebellion, I'm literally going to be watching something that was already been described, and I know what happens.
You know every gory detail.
Yeah.
And they might now because HBO is kind of desperate for hits. But like, I think it's that way for the
slide.
Oh God, I'm really bad at that today.
Thanks, babe.
But yeah, no. So for this, just a future thing. Like it's cool for like in this movie. What is it? 3 minutes, 2 minutes tops. Like that's enough. Like you don't need any more of that. Now the first one, there's a lot more because Kyle has his flashbacks and all that kind of shit. Perfectly fine, but yeah, to do a whole movie is just not great. But you got that, and then you start with the bar scene is incredible.
Oh, that scene is iconic. I need your boots, your clothes, and your motorcycle.
Now one complaint I've always had with the film. Especially after watching the first one, he needs to kill people there. Yeah. Until John swears him to not kill anyone, he should be fucking tearing hearts out like he did in the first one. When he tears Bill Paxton's...
Is he programmed by John to go back?
Maybe.
So that he doesn't kill people?
No,
because then the police aren't notified and he's not... he's already wanted because he looks like the other Terminator.
Well, and he wouldn't have tried to shoot the jock.
Yeah.
So he wasn't pre-programmed. So it's just, to me, I know Arnold was like, I want to do something different.
Well, he doesn't kill the one that he wants his clothes because he doesn't want the hole in it.
Yeah.
So he doesn't kill him, but the other ones, he stabs one of them. So
just in the shoulder. It's a pet peeve I've always had because it's like up until John kind of changes his programming, he's a Terminator. He should be killed. And when I watched the first one, he like rips Bill Paxton's heart out and shit. I'm like, it was new to me, but like,
good Lord.
Yeah, but now that I watch like them in
Sedacana.
Yeah. Yeah, but now that I watch it in sequence, it's a matter of like he should be doing the same thing. It's the same.
And this is also one of the ones that we if we could change history, Tad, but it can't be something major. I think this might be the thing that we would both agree on is go back, find the marketing person and kick them in the nuts until they don't reveal that Arnold is a good guy.
In the trailers. Yeah. No, I will say though.
I watched that trailer. That infuriated me.
There's a lot of stuff now where people are like reaction videos and stuff where people have never seen any of the marketing.
My wife, remember?
So they're watching it and they're getting the response. I wonder if like Lord of the Rings might be the same way down the road where it's like, because that's eventually what happens is like, people don't know that Gandalf comes back because they weren't watching the marketing like you and I did. So it's like, your daughter, say she watches Lord of the Rings next year, she's not going to know.
Well, if I introduce my daughter to Terminator and then have her watch Terminator 2, she's not going to know.
Yeah, exactly. So,
I think we should still go back and kick that person in the nuts, though.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we?
Yeah.
It would be one of the biggest cinematic reveals. Think about it. It would be not there with, I am your father, but it would be close. It would be a close, like third, maybe fourth.
Yeah.
But I feel like that they definitely dropped the ball that if you don't tell people, and you got you frame it to where Arnold is looking at everyone, and the first time, get down, what the fuck, because I think that my wife can correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. I think we watched the Terminators in order. So we watched Terminator, and then we watched Terminator 2 because she had never seen them.
I think you told me about that.
And she had no idea that Arnold was the good guy in the second one.
Yeah.
And the way that they play off the cop, it doesn't look like he kills anyone.
No. Looks like he punches him in the gut.
Ugh.
And then you're also playing with, like, expectations and the fact that, like, Kyle Reese was a much smaller, thin-built guy versus the big-ass Arnold. It's like, hey, you got the small, thin-built
Well, he also
T-1000.
talks, like, a little bit more Arnold, give me your boots, your clothes.
Yeah. And you have a picture of John. Can I keep this picture, please? Like, it's just
what a good-looking boy.
Everything about it. Yeah, no, for sure. And the T-1000, iconic. I still...
that's what it was. She knew that he was a good guy in the second one. because of all the zeitgeist. Everyone knows that.
Every other film they've done, he's been a good guy.
Yeah,
because
so she didn't know he was the bad guy in the first one, so she was caught off guard when he killed the gunsmith guy. Yeah. That's what it was.
You can't do that. Wrong.
Just blast him.
Oh, the guns in this! I mean, just incredible.
I would give a pretty penny to own some of these guns in this movie.
Yeah, that lever action.
Oh, that shotgun is one of your dream guns, right?
Yeah, it's so cool. And like also the way they did it, like there's like cannons, there's like a whole bit like to make the sound effect for that gun is just incredible what they went through. It's like 5 or 6 different guns.
I will say this movie kind of ruined me for a moment because I watched this movie a lot when I was like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah.
And one of the first times I ever shot a pistol, not a revolver, but an automatic.
Yeah.
Was after seeing this movie. And I was like, that's not what they sound like.
Yeah.
There's a very distinct sound of the handguns in this movie.
Yeah, they had kind of a lasery sound to
they
them.
did.
Yeah, indeed. John Connor, incredible. I mean, as a young boy,
Edward Furlong.
I think that's why this movie resonates so much is because, like, with anything, right? It's like there's a reason Chucky was so cool because it's like, well, that's a kid about my age. Like,
yeah.
Whatever. Same thing here, right? Which is wild. Like, does he look like a 10-year-old?
No. He looks like a teenager. 12,
13, something like that.
I would think he would look like 14, 15.
But, like, it's 10.
He's 10 in this?
Clearly 10. It's when he looks in the police computer, it shows that. So that means that this is set in 1994. Because
84.
Yeah.
Well, he might have been born in 85.
Yeah, so...
he might have been January, February of 85. So
no, I'm sorry. You see his birthday on the computer. I don't know what it is, but yeah. Oh man, we're already out of time.
I can't believe it, Ted.
Oh,
you get 5 extra minutes to talk about Terminator 2.
We are windbags. You know that?
We are. But we should have known this with Fantastic Four trailer and Daredevil season finale. I mean, come on.
That's probably true. I know that we've learned too that we're not going to ever try to duel things up like we've done with Daredevil.
Yeah.
That's why, like, The Last of Us, we're not doing that.
Last of Us, we're going to hold off until the season's over.
There will be an episode after the season ends that will do all of The Last of Us. Yep. So we've learned little mistakes because some of the stuff has been shorted a tiny bit. I mean,
this won't be the last time we talk about Terminator.
No, the score, one of my all-time favorites. Yeah, and the way that this one too, because you listen to the first one, it's a little bit more like techno-y, like industrial. It doesn't have that like deep oomph that the second one. I still listen to it. It's on my regular rotation for scores. So
yeah,
Robert Patrick as T-1000 is incredible.
He plays a great dad. I will say that.
Dad.
He's the dad in Walk the Line.
He's a pretty terrible father, though.
And he's
the wrong son died.
And he's the dad in Peacemaker. He's the dad of John Cena.
Oh, I haven't seen Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is he's a fucking Nazi in that.
I
don't know if he's a Nazi. He's a racist.
He's a dad in The Sopranos.
Is he really?
Yeah, there's like a Meadow, Tony's daughter, a friend that she has. T-1000's his dad, and he's a degenerate gambler.
Dude, what's with him playing dads? Like, what the hell?
I mean...
And in this one, he's Arnold's dad, so...
And what about at Wayne's World? Have you seen this boy? But this movie's just incredible. Yeah, we'll probably end up circling back. But I mean, the set pieces. I was thinking about it as I was watching it, where I'm like, okay,
that steel factory at the end.
You got the steel factory. You've got the Cyberdyne. You've got the mental hospital. You've got what did I say to begin with?
You got the L.A. River.
Yeah, the whole chase is incredible. There's just the bar. I mean,
the opening scene too is still magnificently shot and everything with the futuristic warfare and everything.
Yeah,
and then the greatest scene in the entire movie probably is the nuke scene in The Dream.
Oh yeah,
the fence.
Yeah,
that still gets used today in memes and reels
for sure.
I walked outside and forgot how hot it was, and it shows the Sarah Connor.
One thing you're taking from the extended and putting it in the theatrical, what would it be?
Oh, the feet thing with Sarah Connor at the end. You don't have to establish that he's malfunctioning to show that. That's obviously not a human being. I said it before. I think that's the one I would do. Now,
I could be a bit of a fanboy, but I think it's a Kyle Reese scene for me.
where he shows up at the hospital.
Because he hypes her up in her dream, right? It's like, our son's out there. He's defenseless. You need to get out.
On your feet, soldier.
And then when she's trying to follow him out, and the great repeat, which I wouldn't have known first time I watched the extended. I didn't. That was my introduction to Kyle Reese.
Yeah.
But then she walks out, and then there's the nuke scene. Like, I feel like that adds to her, like, inspiration for the breakout and stuff. Like, I mean, well, then seeing the Terminator is the big thing, but it's like to get hyped up where it's like, oh, your son's, and then she says that to the doctor, like, my son's, defenseless without me. I need to see him. I need to talk to him. I just love that scene. It's one of my favorite scenes.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good stuff. I mean, the chip scene is really cool.
That's taken out.
I wouldn't necessarily care to keep that. That's a big killer for your momentum. It's a cool scene, but
that one I get where you're talking about killing the momentum, but
like it just.
But like the dog one.
Yeah.
That explains your parents, your foster parents are dead.
Yeah. Because now you still see it though in the theatrical, because I watched the theatrical as well, and like when he's at the door, that dog is in the background in its fucking dog kennel barking its fucking head off.
You do see it, but no, the scene where you up the ante where T-1000 goes out there and kills the dog.
Yeah.
Pulls off the collar and it's got blood on it.
Yeah.
Bastard killed a dog. That puts him into the bad guy realm. You know, like there's indisputable bad guy realms. It's when you kill a dog.
Yeah. As a kid, I did dress up as Terminator for Halloween one year.
Oh, did you really?
For school.
I don't think you ever told me that.
Yeah, back in the early 90s, spiked my hair.
Leather jacket.
I brought like a fake gun, which of course would never happen nowadays.
Dude, you can't bring any weapons or wear masks now.
Yeah. Sunglasses. I did the whole bit. It was incredible.
You didn't implant a laser eye?
Also,
is that what happened to your eye? Is that why you have a zombie eye? Is you tried to put a laser eye in?
One of my favorite aspects as a kid is the motorcycle T-1000.
Oh, the highway patrol
in like the helmet, the glasses. Like, I don't know why, but as a kid, that's what I imagined when I was playing on my bike and everything. Like that was Did
you ever do the whole like riding your bike away from T-1000 like you're John Connor?
No, I was T-1000.
Oh God.
Are you surprised?
I do have to tell one story. Real fast of a friendship moment with Tad and I involving Terminator 2. We worked at a grocery store and his uncle worked there, and we would go paintballing with him and his cousins, his uncles, and everyone like that. And Tad came up with this idea for a game, paintballing, because usually paintballing we had a bunker game where
Capture the flag.
We had a bunker game where you would go in the bunker with like 3 people, and you'd have to stay inside, and everyone would have to come and try and kill the 3 of you. But you're inside the bunker; they don't have as much cover,
and on high ground too.
And you're on high ground. It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. We saw that last night. And then there was capture the flag. So you don't want to be too aggressive, or sometimes it's good to be too aggressive. Like if you all just charge everything. Tad came up with this really fun idea where.
So the reason behind it
is Tad wanted an excuse to get shot.
I was getting sick of going home with not enough welts. Like
Tad loves pain.
The whole point of paintball is getting some welts to show off some scars.
Chicks dig scars.
Yeah. So that was my original.
So
Tad came up with this in high school.
Yeah, Tad came up with this idea in high school.
I remember being in Fuller's class, like thinking it through.
And we were still in high school when we did this. We were seniors, I think.
I remember being in Fuller's classroom when he was lecturing. I was like thinking through, oh my God, like this would actually be really cool.
So the idea is that I'm John Connor, of course. Tad picks me to hunt. And I get 3 bodyguards, and they can.
No, everyone else. Everybody else that's playing that day is.
But I got 3 bodyguards that stayed with me, and they got their choice of guns, so they could take someone's gun that was like souped up and everything like that. So I had them, but then everyone else was there as well, and the only way to kill Tad, who was the Terminator, was to hit him in the hand.
Yeah, that's what I came up with.
And Tad had this idea, and we only go paintballing in the summertime. Because we're lunatics, because it's hot, and
well, we went in the snow sometimes.
That's true, we did. That's true. I think I have a picture of me sitting in the snow with my camo on and everything. But of course, Tad picked me to hunt, and
of course
you got welts.
Yeah,
but you did unfortunately get hit in the hand.
Yeah,
and John Connor survived.
It was my fault too, because the main thing you learn in paintball is if it doesn't break, it doesn't count.
Yes.
So. Absolute, what do you call it? Like a motor, like when you don't think but you just do something. Autopilot?
Autopilot,
So your autopilot, when you get hit, if you're a veteran, is you reach and touch. Did that break? Because if it didn't break, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason I got.
It's because he got hit in the leg.
Absolute motor motor function,
Yep.
immediately get shot. I go to feel, see if, because I'm just, it's second nature. You don't even think about it. You just, that's what you do. So I go to reach, see if but again, it's just not even thinking, because if I would have thought, I'm like, oh, the game is, I don't give a fuck if I got hit. But I got hit, and I'm like, oh God, did it break? And just not thinking. And then second shot, same spot. Yeah.
Yep.
So the future times we played it, I didn't make that mistake.
No, you did not.
But, yeah,
I wasn't your John Connor then. So
that's fun, because then when we go up, we'd have a dozen people. So
yeah.
It was basically 1 versus 11,
and he didn't care about getting hit, so he was seriously walking around like a fucking Terminator. It scared some people. They were like, "Oh my God, that was kind of scary, Tad."
And then all the others, a lot of the other people were weak too. They're, I don't want to go out there and be a Terminator. I'll get shot too many times. I'm like,
and Tad's like, "I'll do it.
I'll do it every time, man."
Yeah.
I think I did. I don't think I ever played except for Terminator.
Yeah,
because nobody else wanted to be.
No one else wanted to get shot 50 times. You fucking psycho.
I also volunteered for a firing squad too.
That is true. Firing squad is when you broke the rules. Like, we always made it so that you had to cover your barrel, put your gun on safe when you walked into the safety zone. You never took your mask off unless you were in the safety zone.
Yeah,
just safety rules like
shoot
that.
Towards it.
You couldn't shoot towards. Basically. So if you broke the rules, you got a firing squad. I think I got 1 firing squad my entire time playing.
Yeah,
I think I took my mask off early. Is what someone.
I only got the one I volunteered for.
Yeah, you're like, yeah, I want a firing squad. And we're like, what?
Because it was.
Yeah, because someone had just gotten a fire squad
it was
someone.
the end of the day. And
yeah, someone had just gotten a fire squad the last game, and we're like, all right, line up, ready, set, fire. And half the people miss, 3 people hit. And then Tad's like, can I have a firing squad? And we're like, what'd you do? Oh, I just want to get shot.
Indeed.
Freaking weirdo.
So yeah, at some point we will, of course, probably circle. I mean, there's a lot of these where we've touched on a big thing, and of course this one got shorted a bit because of the other topics, which is wild because we've got to the point where we're not even covering news, but we have secondary topics, I guess.
And a season finale for a TV show like Daredevil is a huge thing.
Plus some shenanigans happening as well, but it doesn't, I mean, with a lot of these we've said over the years, though, like some of these things we've hit, this won't be the last time we talk about it. I mean, I've already talked about it to a slight extent on my Mount Rushmore thing, but this is a massive movie for both of us, and I'm sure at some point we'll end up circling back around to it, because maybe we'll even rename this one so it doesn't say T2 Deep Dive. I think the video is titled that. So
it is titled that. I can see.
All right, so maybe I'll edit that to where it just says, Fantastic Four,
T2 and other subjects.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that is
Fantastic Four, Daredevil, Born Again, and a little bit of T2.
Yeah, just a little shooter of T2. All right, sorry about the. I mean, it's still fun.
It is what it is.
We'll circle back, because again, we both love it too much. This isn't like a thing where we're both like, we got to talk about T2.
Maybe we'll do it on like an anniversary or something.
Yeah. If we ever get on August 29th.
That would be fun.
We definitely got it. We came close last year. I want to say last year it was like August 27th or something. We had a date that was so close. I was like, dude, we got to talk about T2, and we did.
Tad?
So what?
Next year.
Is it?
This year it's a Friday. Next year it's a Saturday.
So let's just pencil it in now. we're already planning season 4 stuff. August 29th. I mean, God, if it was 2027. Because then it would be a full-on
2029.
No, but 2027 would be 97. It would be like a
full. Oh, it would be like a full.
Full 40? No, 30 year anniversary.
30.
So, yeah, the 30s are rolling through the 90s right now. So it's pretty wild.
Yeah, we're gonna hit 30s for our graduation.
Which thing I was thinking about 2029. 30s, I was like 2029 is barely outside of our realm of knowing what Marvel movies come out that year, but it's barely, right? We already have movies out through 2027, and I think at least some ideas of what might be in 2028. So it's like that's not that far away.
Yeah.
So, oh man. All right. So if you want to email the show, you could do that at Peter@geekeryabides.com or Tad@geekeryabides.com. Tad is TADD. If you want to send your thoughts about Terminator 2 or Daredevil or Fantastic Four, any kind of fun shenanigans you want to send emails in, that's the way to do it. And then if I can find the right slide, the next time on Geekery Abides, we have Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts comes out
in a few days.
Comes out in a couple days, which means it will be a week removed from the release when we do the episode. But yeah, we'll basically talk about Thunderbolts, and I will say part of that.
Hey. Thunderbolts asterisk.
No, it's just Thunderbolts.
No,
If you're-
Thunderbolts
if,
asterisk.
if you're typing it, you got to put the asterisk. But if you're saying it, you just say
Thunderbolts
Thunderbolts.
asterisk.
So Thunderbolts, and I will say part of that discussion is going to be what is the future of MCU, because that always is the thing, right?
It is a rumor that it is a game changer for the MCU.
Yeah, and it's the last.
You watch. Doctor Doom gets fucking introduced in this movie.
It's the last.
You watch.
It's the last movie in the 616 before Doomsday. So it's like I think that's always a given that we're gonna like talk about what does this film mean for the future.
Yeah.
So we'll certainly be talking about that, especially because this is our last hoorah for the proper MCU. Before that, of course, we got Fantastic Four, but they're in a different universe, so we don't care about them. Not yet.
Until partway through the movie.
Yeah, until we're sitting in the seats for that, then we'll care about them, because it's like, okay, now we care about this other universe. So that is next time. Our schedule through August, Fantastic Four, as a matter of fact, is all spelled out. If you want to go do it, we got some Harry Potter coming up, Last of Us, Secret Wars comic read. It'll be our first time ever doing a comic read. That should be a lot of fun. And then Superman and Fantastic Four, a lot of fun stuff coming up.
Oh yeah.
I'll sign off as I always do by saying love what you love, let your geek flag fly high, and to hell with anyone that says anything to you about guilty pleasures.
I'll be back.
I wish I had it.
I mean, that's so easy, right? Like that was a layup for me.
It's true. I also wish we need some Terminator sound bites. We have no Terminator representation on our sound bites.
That's a shame.
Fuck
Ted.
you, asshole.
Fuck you, asshole.
Wrong. That'd be a good one.
Wrong.
Wrong.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Wrong.
Wrong. You got to make sure to have the gunshot too.
Yeah, dude, that would actually be a really heavily used button, because there's multiple times when we're talking.
Wrong.
Yeah, wrong. All right, guys. We'll see you guys in a fortnight.
Bye, everyone.